Chapter 691. No, I can't say hello because of Vice Chairman Theo. 70th floor of the Black Tower. Dino, the capital of the Lizard Kingdom. Pew Pew Hut, Lizard King, thanks for buying 20 million invitations, meow. Theo was extorting money from the king of the Lizard Kingdom. In the past, the Lizard Kingdom had handed over half of its treasure to Theo in exchange for removing the phoenix occupying its capital, Dino, but the citizens of the kingdom worked hard and restored the national treasury. Thanks to that, even more was taken. That's how Theo received 20 trillion tower coins, the price for 20 million invitations. Just as he was about to head towards Sejun. Then let's depart, meow. Chairman Park is nearby, meow. He detected Sejun's knee energy appearing at the 70th floor waypoint of the tower. Pew Pew Hut, Chairman Park must really want to see me, Vice Chairman Theo too, meow. So Theo voluntarily dashed towards Sejun, who had come to catch him, with light speed meow step. Swish. Pew Pew Hut, Chairman Park, I missed you too, meow. In an instant, he clung to Sejun's face and rubbed his face affectionately. And then, Kaiwat, where is this place? Yona, who had been clinging to Theo's tail, was momentarily startled when the surroundings suddenly changed. But then, Kaiwat, hello, Sejunim. She calmly greeted Sejun. However, no, I can't say hello because of Vice Chairman Theo. Squishy. Mule. Sejun responded with a grumpy voice while pulling Theo's cheek fat. Chairman Park, I'm sorry, Nayao. Theo apologized right away, without even knowing what he did wrong. Because when Sejun punishes him by squishing his cheeks, there's always a reason. It's unconditionally his fault. On top of that, I think he's angry about the invitations, meow. Theo had a vague idea of the reason. Even he had thought that maybe he sold too many invitations when he hit 50 million. But at some point, he got too excited and couldn't stop selling invitations like a runaway train. Vice Chairman Theo, didn't I tell you to sell only 10,000 invitations? Meow, I understood it as the least to sell was 10,000, meow. What, are your ear holes clogged? Want me to clean them out? Pew Pew Hut, that'd be great, meow. It would be an honor if Chairman Park cleaned them, meow. Sighed this guy in his mouth. Squishy. Meow, Chairman Park, I'm sorry, meow. And so Theo further fueled Sejun's anger and had to endure even longer cheek squishing. A little later. Phew, so how many did you sell? Sejun, his anger somewhat cooled, released Theo's cheeks and asked. Meow. Masonim 30 million, Hannibalnum 23 million, to Lizard King 20 million. Theo diligently calculated his outstanding achievements. Kaiwat. Theonim sold 135,710,068 invitations. Yona, who had already counted the number of invitations beside Theo, proudly answered. She was gradually becoming more like Theo, as if they were truly a couple. What, 135 million? Sejun, who had expected maybe 10 million at most, was furious at the overwhelming number. Hold still. Chairman Park, I'm sorry, meow. He grabbed Theo's cheeks again. After thoroughly disciplining Theo, Vice Chairman Theo, knee banned for 2 days. Sejun handed down his punishment. Meow, no way, meow. At Sejun's words, Theo made a devastated expression. A 2-day knee ban to Theo was like a bolt from the blue. At that moment, now's my chance. Beektang, who had been watching for an opportunity, moved. Kaiong. That knee is mine now. Without reading the mood, Beektang launched himself towards Sejun's knee. Hawk, no one can go on Chairman Park's knee, meow. Thwack. Kaya. After acting so recklessly, Beektang ended up getting hit by Theo and passed out with a yelp. Sigh, guys, let's go. This isn't a birthday party, it's becoming a birthday hell. Sejun let out a deep sigh as he gathered the group and returned to the 99th floor of the Black Tower. For the following 5 days, Sejun did nothing but gather cooking ingredients from the moment he woke up until he went to bed. Since there were over 100 million participants for the birthday party, the sheer amount of ingredients was enough to fill both the storage and the void storage completely. During this process of gathering ingredients, Sejun's level rose by 3, reaching level 196. Meanwhile, Hell received many quests requesting ingredients like chocolate bricks and Oreo powder, and accumulated a large number of welfare points. Used 20 Sejun Company welfare points to access the seed delivery network. Sent the Transcendence Grade seed, Dragon Fruit seed, to Vice Chairman Park Theo of Sejun Company. Hell, the god of merchants, received 5 welfare points as a reward for completing the quest. Every time 20 points were accumulated, Hell sent a dragon fruit seed to Sejun through Theo. This was in hopes of sending Sejun 100 Transcendence Grade seeds, and in return, receiving an increase in divinity and 5% shares of Sejun Company's seed delivery network. Thanks to this, Sejun received 2 dragon fruits over the past 5 days and germinated them, but the results were not good. One yielded a dragon fruit that had only the super vitality skill copied, while the other copied crop miniaturization and rain thunder. At least the one with the rain thunder skill could make it rain and water crops. Munch munch. Hey, stop eating. The one with only super vitality had no practical use. Its level was already raised to 7 using a great growth elixir, and it ate a lot. How annoying. Sejun grew displeased as he watched the dragon fruit that looked like him do nothing but eat. Aileen, please cook something. The tower's administrator excitedly asks if you want to eat her food. The tower's administrator tells you to wait just a little bit. She prepared food to feed the gluttonous dragon fruit. And then, boom! The gluttonous dragon fruit exploded after eating a new dish developed by Aileen, chestnut dish. But it turned out it wasn't a chestnut but a bomb. Thanks. Sejun gave deep thanks and condolences to the obliterated gluttonous dragon fruit and headed to the carrot field. It was time to harvest carrots for the carrot cake. While Sejun was working hard preparing for the birthday party. Who is it, meow, who burned it all, meow? Theo, finding the treasury empty, summoned Kyungi and Blackie to interrogate them. Kyung. Kyungi is innocent. Kyungi only burned Dad's skills. Kyungi placed his right front paw on his left chest and declared his innocence. Kyungi doesn't lie, meow. Then is it Blackie, meow? Theo ruled out Kyungi as a suspect and turned to Blackie. Kaying. Great Blackie is innocent. Because of Big Brother, I didn't even get to burn the butler's money and ended up on a diet meal plan. Blackie barked fiercely in protest, full of resentment. He really looked unjustly accused. Doesn't seem like Blackie either, meow. Then who is it, meow? Unable to find the culprit. Detective Sherlock Sejun, help me, meow. He called Sejun for help. However, I entrusted that money to Aileen. Meow. The culprit was Sejun. Heh, now you can't burn it even if you want to. Sejun provoked Theo with a smug expression. Meow, Chairman Park's face is getting ugly, meow. Kyung. Dad, ugly face is not allowed. Kilahit Kaying. Hee, let's stomp on the butler's face. Sejun was mercilessly trampled by the 3 Park brothers. Heh, but they still can't burn the money. Sejun willingly smiled as he was stomped. However, Aileen, his trusted treasurer once flush with funds, began to indulge in power shopping. Kyuhihiti, what power should I buy for my Sejun? She started shopping for powers. Power, omnipotent tower farmer. Price, 10 quintillion tower coins. Effect, all stats plus 10 billion inside the tower. Granting restrictions. Tower farmer SSS must be a resident of a level 8 world or have a stat potential of 10 billion or more. Power, I'll protect my field. Price, 100 quadrillion tower coins. Effect, all abilities increase by 10,000% when protecting one's field. Granting restrictions. Tower farmer SS Must be a resident of a level 6 world or have a stat potential of 1 billion or more. Power skillful farmer. Price 100 trillion tower coins. Effect: all job skills of the tower farmer increase by +3 levels. However, skill levels can only be raised up to the limit of the job grade. Granting restrictions: tower farmer S must be a resident of a level 2 world. For some reason, a flood of new powers tailored for tower farmers had been stocked in the shopping list. I am working this hard for you, Sejun. Please recognize my loyalty. It was the tearful effort of System 371, but no one acknowledged it. 55th floor of the Black Tower. Bachinim, it's been a while. Hearing the news of Bachai's upcoming wedding, Kalche, Archbishop of the Ham God Church, visited with other followers to help with the preparations. TL, Ham God equals Hamster God. Bach and Lara's wedding was planned to be held once in Hamp tradition, and once in Red Ribbon Kingdom style. To prepare ceremonial attire for the Hamp-style wedding, the hamsters had arrived first to take measurements of Bach and Lara, and were in the process of making the outfits. Thus, Kalche and the followers stayed in the Red Ribbon Kingdom. What? Ham God Ionanum is coming to the wedding. Through conversations with other rabbits, the hamsters learned that Yona would be attending the wedding. And then, notify the homeland immediately. Opportunities to see the visage of Ham God are rare. Glory to Ham God. Though Iona was a common presence on the 99th floor of the Black Tower, suddenly she was being treated like a rare Pokémon. The hamsters of Hamp began pouring into the Black Tower just to catch a glimpse of her. Of course, given that they were from a level 7 world, it was difficult for them to reach the 99th floor of the tower on their own. If you want to attend the birthday party, bring either an invitation or Bach and Lara's wedding invitation. That's all we need. Yes, our Kuang faction and the wolves will safely escort you to the 99th floor of the Black Tower. The Kuang faction's Black Bears and Wolves were operating a shuttle service to the 99th floor. Bachanam, please give me a wedding invitation. Bachanam, I really want to attend the wedding. To use the shuttles headed for the 99th floor, the hamsters requested invitations from Bachai. Kayuk. Of course I'll send them. Hehe, that's all gift money coming in. Bachai accepted all requests, thinking about the wedding gifts he would receive. Soon, all printing presses in the Red Ribbon Kingdom began operating 24 hours a day to print invitations for 50 billion hamsters. It was uncertain whether they could finish printing them all before the birthday party. However, if they could print them all, it seemed Hamp would be completely empty on March 23rd, Earth Standard Time. Thus, Bachai dropped a massive nuclear bomb on the 99th floor of the Black Tower for the sake of his wedding gifts. At that very moment, Red Tower 43F Red Monkey Mongu, hello, folks from the Black Tower, may I ask something? Black Tower 77F Boss Banana Monkey Tribe Village Chief Ukil, go ahead, I'll answer. Red Tower 43F Red Monkey Mongu, thank you. I heard something by chance. Is it true the Black Tower has something called a birthday? Mongo posted a question on the full-time employee communication network, triggering a ripple. Black Tower 77F Boss Banana Monkey Tribe Village Chief Ukil, that's right. For the record, I received a birthday directly from Chairman Park. Heh. Red Tower 33F Red Skunk number 23. Wow, I'm so GLPP woon. Oh, sorry, I got too excited. Black Tower 73F Boss Giant Flying Squirrel Quarrel, hee hee hee. If you want one, I'll give you one. Birthdays can be shared. Red Tower 43F Red Monkey Mongu, really, I want one. Red Tower 33F Red Skunk, number 23, please PP Woon, please give me one. Brown Tower 77F Red Goblin Gwek, I want one too. Deputy Manager Red Tower 87F Loser, loyal full-time employee, Red Fox Bayon. Red Tower guys, stop. The first to receive Sejunam's birthday in the Red Tower will be the loyal full-time employee me, Bayon. A new bomb was being created, even in the full-time employee communication network. Chapter 692, Who's the Boss Here? Forest of Creation. It's too hard to find the problem. Don't you have some kind of hint? Flamey, who had unleashed an enormous number of avatars over the past 2 weeks to explore every corner of the world, asked while gauging the reaction of the trial statue. However, the 5th trial begins with finding the problem itself, so there is no hint. The statue was firm. Treasures are always buried in places that are hard to reach. Instead, it muttered to itself, giving a hint subtly. A place that's hard to reach. The place that's hard for me to go to. Flamey pondered over what the trial statue had said. Is it by Sejun's side? The moment Flamey thought of Sejun, flames bloomed brightly on her leaves. I got it. The problem must be near Sejun. Besides, Theo Opa might be able to help with his golden forepaws, hee. As Flamey was already itching to attend Sejun's upcoming birthday party, she was overjoyed. Even if there was no 5th trial problem, it didn't matter. She needed an excuse to attend the birthday party anyway. It had been almost a month since she had used Law of Creation, become weak when holding breath and power, frail pretty girl. But since it was still in the middle of the trial, she had to stay wary of the trial statue. Thus, Flamey found a justification to go to Sejun. Thank you, Statuenim, for the hint. The problem is at the Black Tower, right? After thanking the statue. I need to hurry and prepare a birthday gift for Sejunim. Which fire apple should I bring? I wonder if Sejunim can eat the golden fire apple now. She quickly began preparing to descend to the 99th floor of the Black Tower. That's not it. The trial statue, unable to answer, looked on with frustration at Flamey, who had misunderstood. 99th floor of the Black Tower. Guys, shall we get started now? Sejun said to the group as he looked at the mountain of potatoes stacked up. Pew hut, leave it to Vice Chairman Theo, meow. Kaiong. I couldn't win the knee battle, but I'll win this. At Sejun's words, Theo and Beektang began quickly peeling the potatoes with their claws. Moo. Once peeled, the black minotaurs crushed the potatoes with their hands to extract the juice. Kuang. Moo. Beside them, Pink Fur and the Minotaur King crushed corn to extract its juice. This was to obtain starch for making glass noodles. Originally, sweet potatoes also had to be juiced, but grrr. You don't juice sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are only for making the great Blackies roasted and dried sweet potatoes. That's right. We are the guardians of roasted and dried sweet potatoes. We will protect sweet potatoes at all costs. Kurug. Sharaleng. Blackie and his subordinates tied red headbands around their foreheads and did their utmost to guard the sweet potatoes so no one could take them. Okay, I get it. Just be quiet and return. Kaying. Okay. Since the Blackie family was being such a nuisance, Sejun removed sweet potatoes from the list of starch-making ingredients. I won. Blackie, having achieved his personal feat of beating Sejun, joyfully rejoiced and went to Camille Disiang alone. Kaying. If you want to hear the tale of how the great Blackie beat his butler, gather around. Kiki. Kaya. He excitedly began telling his story to the Destruction Pioneers and Destruction Devourers. While the starch was being extracted like that. Kyungi, let's get started too. Kyung. Sejun and Kyungi began kneading the dough. Sejun made wheat flour dough for noodles, while Kyungi made rice flour dough for rice noodles. Originally, it was unnecessary to go to such trouble, as Sejun could just gather the ingredients and use his cooking skill to replicate the dish. However, once the cooking skill evolved into the delicious cooking master, problems began to arise. Being able to bring out flavors that surpassed the limitations of the ingredients through cooking was nice, but replicating a single portion of a dish now required much more magic power and time. So to minimize the consumption of magic and time, the ingredients had to be prepared properly. That way, the maximum number of dishes could be replicated at once. Besides, it feels comforting to see noodles neatly stacked in the storage. Heh. It was simply Sejun's personal preference. Like that, while Sejun and his party spent 2 days making glass noodles and other types of noodles. Sejunum, I'll be going now. Okay, Toryoung, be careful out there. Puhu hut, Toryoung, make lots of money, meow. Yes. Toryoung set off on his final field trip to the resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods. Land of destruction. Thump thump. Kekik, hide well, or your hair might show. Corruption was pretending to look for the pure mental fragments of future creator God who had not yet been corrupted, trying to scare them. And then, so scary. Someone please help. Shivering, trembling. The mental fragments hiding in a corner, trembling. Kekek, scary, right? I understand your feelings. I've been through it too. Thump thump. Corruption spoke in a sweet and gentle voice to corrupt the mental fragments. However, everyone ignored me, even the primordial God who was born with me. My own brother left me trembling and didn't help. He abandoned me. Suddenly riled up, he shouted with a voice full of long-held resentment. Apparently, he was telling the truth about having gone through it. I was born with the primordial God too. Why am I the weak and ugly one? Why only me? Once he exploded, corruption lost all rationality and poured out words full of anger. And the more he expressed his rage, the more grotesque his appearance became. The hatred and fury he harbored transformed him into the very monster he detested. At that moment, eek, so scary. One terrified mental fragment, upon seeing corruption's hideous appearance, sprang to its feet and started running away. Save me. Someone please help. That acted as a signal, and the other mental fragments also began running to escape from corruption. And then, Kekek, where do you think you're going? Sob sob, please spare me. Corruption caught one of the fleeing mental fragments. Kekek, look closely. Do I really look that scary? He brought the mental fragment close to his face and asked with a twisted smile on his grotesque mouth. A voice, filled with 99% despair and 1% hope, trembled ever so slightly. And then, monster, don't come near me. The answer he received always catered to the 99% despair. How boring. Crunch, crunch. Corruption put the mental fragment in his mouth and chewed. It tasted bitter. Earth Dragon Park Toryoung, the demigod guard of the Black Tower's Tower Farmer Park Sejun, has arrived for the Career Path Guidance Field Trip. Toryoung had arrived at the resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods. His body was carrying numerous bottles of alcohol. This time, he brought the maximum amount of samyeonju he could carry. So this is what it looks like. Toryoung quickly surveyed the surroundings. He stood at the entrance of the resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods, and beyond the entrance was a forest shrouded in mist. The fog gave the forest a gloomy, eerie feeling. At that moment, looks like someone's here. A visitor. Who is it? Doesn't look like someone who's dead. Maybe a new caretaker. Caretakers and dead gods who had been hiding behind trees started to appear one by one, watching the visitor Toryoung. And then, all right, let's get started. Here, for just 10 billion tower coins, I'm selling samyeonju personally brewed by Chairman Park of Sejun Company, where 1 cup gives you 10 more years of life, and 2 cups give you 20 more years. Toryoung began his sales pitch, drawing the eyes of the caretakers and dead gods. The reason the dead gods who came to the resting grounds eventually disappeared was because their divine power had run out. In other words, as long as they could replenish their divine power, they could continue to exist. And no god wished to be extinguished. Now, someone was offering to extend their lives in exchange for riches they had no need for. After all, gods come with nothing and leave with nothing. They had no need for such heavy possessions. As they say, even a village dog recites poetry after 3 years at the village school. Similarly, at Sejun Company, They develop a business mindset in 3 months. Thanks to what he had seen and learned from Sejun and Theo, Toryong's sales pitch drew responses. Me 1 glass. I'll take 2. I'll buy some too. The dead gods swarmed in, handed over money, bought samyangju, drank it, and began extending their lifespans. Meanwhile, this one's interesting. Shall we try buying some too? Shall we? We've got plenty of gemstones abandoned in storage anyway. The caretakers looked at Toryong with interest, wondering whether to buy some samyangju. But sold out, everything been sold. While they were hesitating, the samyangju had all been sold. So this is how it feels. Toryong, experiencing a sellout for the first time, had a proud expression on his face when, "How is it? Pretty fun here, right? Would you like to become a caretaker?" One caretaker approached Toryong and asked, his voice tense with both expectation and anxiety. "Yes, I'll do it, be a caretaker." Toryong accepted without hesitation, making the caretaker's nervousness seem needless. "Huh, you're really going to become a caretaker?" The caretaker who had made the offer was instead the one flustered, asking in disbelief. "And, yes, really, I'll become a caretaker." Toryong responded once more, this time even more firmly. "A few days ago." "Sejun, where should I go?" Toryong had sought career counseling from Sejun, about which god realm would be good to go to. "Wait a second, the more information we have, the more options you'll have." In order to make the right choice, Sejun spoke with Lee, the god of abundance at the seed shop headquarters, Bev, the god of courage at the combat shop headquarters, and Hell, the god of merchants at Hell's pawn shop. He also gathered information not just on the seed shop headquarters, combat shop headquarters, and Hell's pawn shop, but also on the prison of the gods, Tartarus, and the resting grounds of the forgotten gods. Sejun pondered Toryong's path, weighing the information received from the 3 gods. But if the dead gods at the resting grounds of the forgotten gods have divine power, then they won't disappear, right? A great idea came to him. And then, Pew Hut, Bevnam says they don't die, meow. And if they don't die, they can work too, right? Pew Hut, Helnam says it should be possible, meow. And Leenam says that many of the dead gods at the resting grounds are non-combat gods, meow. Sejun further refined the idea with additional advice from the gods. Toryong, let's set up shop there. And so, as Sejun set his sights on the resting grounds of the forgotten gods, Toryong's career path was decided. Even if the vacation time was only 12 hours per 100 years. Who's the boss here? Rules exist to be changed. Toryong decided to seize control of the place and change the rules. Unlimited vacation for the boss. A short while later. How dare a rookie caretaker call out the head caretaker? A giant with a fierce expression appeared, wielding a massive axe. Dus, god of logging. Dus's legs trembled as he looked up at Toryong, who was even bigger than himself. Despite appearances, Dus was a cowardly and kind-hearted non-combat god who desired peace. And then, Dusnam, Leenam told me to take over as head and that you should return. Huh, really? At Toryong's words, Dus's practiced scary expression instantly melted into a bright smile. Yes. Yes, here, take it. I've been so tired making scary faces all this time. Thanks for becoming head in my place. Dus immediately handed over the head position to Toryong, thanked him, packed up quickly, and returned to the seed shop headquarters. Dus had been managing the resting grounds of the forgotten gods and earning divine power there as the most frightening-looking among the non-combat gods, in order to send divine power to the seed shop headquarters. And so Toryong claimed control of the resting grounds of the forgotten gods. From now on, your vacation time is 12 hours per year. He first implemented a drastic reform by significantly increasing the caretaker's vacation time. Boss Toryong, is that really true? 12 hours a year. Then if we save up for just 2 years, we can take a full day off. Boss Toryong, I will serve you with loyalty from now on. Toryang instantly gained the full support of the caretakers. And then, do you all want to live longer? Then contribute to Sejun Company by doing what you do best. He began putting the dead gods to work in exchange for extended lifespan. Heh, the gods gain more life and we make money, such a good win-win deal. Of course, this was just the evil exploitative employer Sejun's thinking. Chapter 693. How long do I have to be the youngest? 99th floor of the Black Tower. All right. Sejun opened his eyes and greeted a new morning. As soon as he got up, Sejun used his skill. Maintain cleanliness. To wash his face and then. You little grubbies, maintain cleanliness. Meow. Kaying. After washing his companions, he placed them onto his knees and into his sling bag, then stood up. And then, clank, he opened the void storage and passed through the narrow passage between the neatly stacked 50m high towers to begin visiting the Calamity Farms in order, starting with the Locust Farm. Vice Chairman Theo Claus. Pa Ching. Sejun held the sleeping Theo's front paw and pressed it gently. Swoosh. Swoosh. He hunted calamities with Theo's 1 meow slash, gaining cooking ingredients and experience points. Black Tower's lucky legendary merchant Park Theo has defeated the 5th calamity of destruction, the gold slime. You have obtained 150 billion experience points, which is 50% of the experience gained by Park Theo. As a result of the title, owner of the Calamity Farm, you have acquired an additional 300 billion experience points. Congratulations! You have leveled up. Great, another level up today. Thanks to this, Sejun achieved his morning level up, reaching level 197. After finishing the Calamity Hunt, Sejun left the void storage with a proud expression and moved to the 10th tower. Russell, Russell, you have harvested the expulsion onion. He harvested the crops. Shortly after. All right, all seeds planted. Sejun finished his work by sowing new seeds where he had harvested. Everyone please pay your rent, Patrick the god of earth says here. Heh, thank you. Hamer the god of farming grumbles that you're collecting too punctually. Now, Hammernam, your tone is disrespectful to the prospective landlord. If you keep this up, I'll raise the rent. Happily exercising his rights as a future building owner, he received 5 drops of the earth elixir and 2 drops of the enhancing elixir from Patrick, the god of earth, and Hamer, the god of farming, and returned to the Black Tower. And then, drip. Once I find the baby extreme ice herb, I'll be an SS rank tower farmer. He poured 1 drop of the earth elixir onto the spot where the baby elixirs were planted and decided to store the rest for now. Drip. Next, he dropped one of the 2 enhancing elixir drops onto the +1 enhanced golden glutinous rice, enhancing it to +2. Blackie will love this. Drip. Imagining how excited Blackie would be about the even tastier roasted and dried sweet potatoes, he dropped the remaining drop on the power sweet potato seed. Then, to quickly increase the number of enhanced seeds, he placed them in the pouch of abundance crafted with utmost sincerity by Lee. Just as he was using the elixirs and inspecting the farm. Thump thump. Kyuang. Sejunim hello. Kurorong. Pink Fur arrived, carrying the still sleeping Kyungi in her mouth. Moo. Sejunum greetings. Moo. Good morning. Then the Minotaur King and the Black Minotaurs also came. They had gathered again today to help Sejun cook. With the farm family all gathered, Sejun ate breakfast together with them and said, "Today we're making cake batter, whipped cream and rice flour." He immediately started the work. While he worked, Pyurorung, dragon fruit, who had the grass-laying skill, was busy laying grass around the Black Minotaurs and providing snacks. Moo. Delicious. Munch munch. Thanks to that, the Black Minotaurs continued their tasks without resting, eating the grass nearby whenever they got hungry. So Sejun and the farm family worked all day long, and when night came, everyone sleep well and see you tomorrow. Kyung. Dad, good night. Yes, you too, Kyungi, sleep tight. Sejun exchanged good nights with everyone, took care of the Theo couple and the Blackie family, and went to bed. He had been so tired recently that apologizing with Blackie family was on hold as a temporary rest. Ku. Gorarong. Kurarong. Kirarong. As everyone fell into a deep sleep, snoring away, and as the night deepened. Pip pip, everyone have a good night. Peacebees woke up and began his activities. Chomp chomp chomp. After eating the fruit lunchbox Sejun had prepared in the kitchen. Pip pip, big brother, wake up. Blackie, wake up. He started waking up Theo and Blackie. Because tonight, there was something they needed to do together. Meow, alright, meow. Kaying. Sleepy. Pip pip, come out quickly. Still groggy, rubbing their eyes, Theo and Blackie were dragged out by Peacebees. Kyung Kyung. Why are you so late? There's no time if we're going to find Dad's birthday present. Kyungi, also rubbing his eyes with a sleepy expression, greeted the three. For reference, Kyungi had been woken up by Pinkfur. The four had gathered at this late hour to secretly prepare Sejun's birthday present. Pip pip, then let's begin. Swoosh. Peacebees opened a dimensional gate. Meow. Sniff sniff. Theo and Kyungi checked each time whether there was any sense of danger or herbal scent beyond the dimensional gate. And drip drip drip. Kilahit Kaying. Hee, now this land belongs to the great Blackie. Blackie crossed the dimensional gate and peed, marking his territory. While Theo, Kyungi, Peacebees, and Blackie continued crossing the gates in search of Sejun's present. Are they gone? Sejun, feeling his lap was empty, also got up quietly and began writing something on paper. For Theo, an exclusive rights coupon. He was making coupons to give as birthday gifts to his companions. For Theo, exclusive right to Sejun's knee for 2 years coupon. For Kyungi, eat all you want of Dad's cooking coupon and secret from Mom coupon. For Peacebees, make exciting songs with Sejun dancing together coupon. For Blackie, 100 roasted and dried sweet potatoes made by the Great Park Sejun coupon. He created each birthday coupon to match their individual tastes. Then, as he moved on to make coupons for Flamey, Hugh Walbach, Toriong, and the others, time passed quickly, and before he knew it, dawn was breaking. I'll finish the rest tomorrow. Sejun hid the half-made coupons under his bed. Hehe, they're going to be so happy when they get these. Imagining how excited his companions would be when receiving the coupons. Coo. He drifted back into dreamland. A while later. Meow couldn't find it, meow. Pip pip, let's try hard again tomorrow. Kaying. Hungry and sleepy. Theo, Peacebees, and Blackie entered the bedroom. Theo and Blackie climbed onto Sejun's body and quickly fell asleep. Pip pip, big brother and younger brother sleep so well. Peacebees hummed a lullaby and then. Yawn, I better sleep now too. Bararong. He took a position on Sejun's left shoulder and fell asleep. Seed shop headquarters. What? God, Sejun is selling Samyeonju at the resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods and earning tower coins. No, I mean yes. Startled by Lee's raised voice, Dus, the god of logging, shrank back and quickly switched to formal speech. Normally, Lee would have comforted Dust and told him not to do that, but now she had no time for such niceties. That money should never be touched. Because she had heard that Toriong was selling Samyeonju and receiving tower coins from the dead gods. The resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods was the place where dead gods went. A god's death who lives eternally was usually due to unfortunate reasons, and the belongings of the dead gods were strongly infused with resentment, anger, regret, and other dark energies. Moreover, the resting grounds of the Forgotten Gods was a place where such dark energy had accumulated for hundreds of thousands of years. That's why, even while suffering from a lack of divine power and starving, the seed shop headquarters never considered touching the items in the resting grounds of the forgotten gods. Because the moment the money or items from that place came outside, it would become a curse and a calamity. I have to tell God Sejun right away. God Sejun, God Sejun, you're in big trouble if you touch that money. You must not accept anything from the resting grounds of the forgotten gods. Lee called out urgently for Sejun. But Sejun, sound asleep, didn't hear her. In the bedroom where everyone was asleep. Thunk. Suddenly, a large box silently appeared in front of Sejun. Sayla. From the box, a very thick crimson and sinister energy began to seep out. At that moment, Ka. Who dares, who put something like this here? It's dangerous for Sejunim. Karurur, sensing the evil energy, jumped up from his sleep. Tab. Ka. Youngest, take care of this. He kicked the sleeping Cabalto with his foot to wake him up. Yalio. Yes. Still half asleep, Cabalto approached the box and devoured the malicious energy. Yalio. Hehe, I am the world-devouring serpent, Kabul no, Cabalto. Feeling proud to have protected Sejun's life, Cabalto smiled in satisfaction. However, Kaying. Cabalto, be quiet, Great Blackie is sleepy. Yalio. Yes. What came back was Blackie's annoyance. How long do I have to be the youngest? Kabururong. Cabalto, feeling the sorrow of being the youngest once again, drifted back to sleep. Ku. Unaware he'd nearly died, Sejun continued to sleep soundly. A short while later. Uug so bright. After about an hour of sleep, Sejun woke up to sunlight pouring in through the window. Huh? What is all this? Sejun's eyes caught a flood of messages. Park Toryong, leader of the resting grounds of the forgotten gods, has sent 100 trillion tower coins. Nak, the god of spinach from the resting grounds of the forgotten gods, has sent 10 kg of spinach. Durup, the god of Aurelia Alata from the resting grounds of the forgotten gods, has sent 500 g of Aurelia. Purse, the god of shepherd's purse from the resting grounds of the forgotten gods, has sent 300 g of shepherd's purse. During sleep, 10% of your life force has been stored. The life orb is 99.3% complete. 1 magic power has been accumulated over 24 hours. Magic power increases by 0.1. Besides the usual morning messages about the life orb and magic power, there were countless other messages. Did this box come from the resting grounds of the forgotten gods? Oh, shepherd's purse. Then for breakfast today it's shepherd's purse soybean paste soup. Heh. As Sejun cheerfully opened the box and checked its contents. Sejun Nim, I see you're already checking the items. Toryong, who had sent the goods in advance and just arrived on vacation, spoke while peeking through Sejun's window. Yeah, but what is all this stuff? Sejun asked, pointing at the various crops aside from the tower coins. Oh, that? When I told them I was sending you tower coins, the dead gods, grateful that their lifespans had been extended, started giving me various items to pass on to you. Really? Heh, that's right. If I extended their lifespan, they should naturally show gratitude. Puffed with pride, Sejun shrugged his shoulders and grinned at Toryong's words. At that moment, Meow, Chairman Park, don't make that ugly face, meow. Theo, wide awake now, leapt at Sejun's face. Killit, Kaying. Hee, Butler's face looks ugly, I must step on it. Still groggy, Blackie clumsily reached out with his front paw and began stepping on Sejun's face. Thus Sejun, humbled once more by the trampling, muttered, Maybe I should build an achievement monument. No, since they're dead, I guess it should be a memorial. He built memorial monuments for the dead gods who had gifted him crops, memorial monument for Purse, the god of shepherd's purse. And then Park Sejun, the tower farmer of the Black Tower, has built a temple for Purse, the god of shepherd's purse. The divinity has died and cannot receive worship. Instead of divine power, 0.1% of the dead divinity has been restored. The forgotten name of Perse, the god of shepherds Perse, begins to spread in the world. The dead god's divinities began to recover. The restoration of a dead divinity meant there was a chance for them to return to life. Oh, it says my dead divinity is being restored. Oh, you too. Then yours as well. The dead gods who had received memorial monuments from Sejun were so happy they didn't know what to do. At that moment, Black Tower's lucky legendary merchant Park Theo has witnessed your temple. 15% of the dead divinity has been restored. The third apostle of creation, Park Blackie, has witnessed your temple. 25% of the dead divinity has been restored. Just as divine power increased when someone witnessed an achievement monument, messages appeared showing divinity recovery when the memorial monuments were witnessed. Where is Toriongnim? I want to send more gifts to Park Sejunim. Me too. The dead gods began to move around busily. It was an unusually lively atmosphere, rarely seen in the resting grounds of the forgotten gods. Chapter 694, Vice Chairman Theo, did you sell these? 99th floor of the Black Tower. Then let's begin. Sejun, having erected memorial monuments, prepared food today again with the farm members. Today, they had to make cookies and marshmallows and procure chocolate bricks. These were the ingredients for making choco pies. While Sejun and the farm members were diligently preparing the ingredients. Helnum, are the chocolate bricks not ready yet, meow? Our great hybrid Chairman Park is waiting, meow. Theo urged Hel Ho. Will I be able to eat choco pies today? Next to Theo, Pink Fur was looking at him with an expression full of anticipation, holding a giant bowl with her left front paw while vigorously and quickly whisking egg whites from the egg fruit with a stick to make meringue. And then, Vice Chairman Theo, just wait a little. I'm on my way to get them right now. Hel hastily responded to Theo and then, bang, bang, bang. Mud, I know you're in there. Open the door quickly. Knocked on the door of Mud, the god of mud. For the record, Mud had no debts to Hel. However, Mud, hurry and give me the chocolate bricks. Hel spoke confidently, as if she came to collect a debt. A moment later, Hel, I'm sleepy. Mud opened the door and answered in an almost tearful voice. He had good reason. Since Sejun started making choco pies, Mud had not taken a break from making chocolate bricks. No, he hadn't even slept. Mud, you're the god of mud. Are you going to lose to something like sleep? And when God Sejun wants it, are you not going to do it? No, if God Sejun wants it, I have to. That's right, Mud, you can do it. From now on, for every 10,000 chocolate bricks, I'll give you 2 Sejun Company welfare points, so let's do our best. Yes, I'll try my best. Hel, with excellent motivation, cared for Mud's mental state and sent 100,000 chocolate bricks to Theo. Hel, the god of merchants, has received 50 welfare points as a reward for completing the quest. Mud, here you go, let's keep working hard. Thanks to that, Hel gave 20 points to Mud but pocketed a net profit of 30 points. With that adding to the existing 10 points, she now had 40 points. Great, now that I've got points, shall I send some Transcendence-grade seeds? With energetic steps, Hel went to visit Myrna, the god of dragons. Because among the Transcendence-grade seeds, Sejun wanted dragon fruit the most. Knock, knock. Myrna. When Hel knocked on the door. Clatter. Hel, why did you come so late? Myrna hurriedly opened the door, looking angry, and then, here, take them. She handed over 2 dragon fruits. A vastly different reaction from Mud's. Our god Sejun can do whatever he wants. Myrna was showing obsessive dedication to Sejun, who was the only dragon that followed her, and was working hard making dragon fruits. Thanks to that, with Sejun germinating several dragon fruits, Myrna had earned great divine power and increased her divinity, enabling her to produce even better dragon fruits. Myrna, this one its size is. Just as Hel was about to ask about the dragon fruit, that was 1.5 times larger than the others. Hell, hurry and send the dragon fruit to God Sejun. He'll be happy to get this. Myrna urged Hell. Got it. Hell quickly sent the dragon fruits, used 20 Sejun Company welfare points to access the seed delivery network. Sent the Transcendence Grade seed, dragon fruit seed, to Vice Chairman Park Theo of Sejun Company. Hell, the god of merchants, received 5 welfare points as a reward for completing the quest. Thus, 2 dragon fruit seeds were delivered to Sejun. Slurp. That's good. After dinner, Sejun drank warm kudzu tea made from kudzu juice squeezed by Kyungi. Kyung. It's delicious. Kyungi also happily drank warm honey water, following Sejun. Then, Hut, Chairman Park Helnam sent us dragon fruit seeds, meow. Theo reached into the bag with his front paw and pulled out the items. Why is this one so big? Sejun examined the larger of the 2 dragon fruits, which was 1.5 times bigger than a regular one. Gifted dragon fruit seed, TL, gifted as in talented. This dragon fruit seed is an evolved version of the original made by Myrna, the god of dragons. When it absorbs a part of a dragon's body and the energy of creation, it germinates into a dragon fruit that replicates 3 to 5 skills from the dragon that provided the body part. Creator, Myrna, the god of dragons. Grade, Transcendence. It replicates 3 to 5 skills. Oh, that means the probability of replicating cooking skills is higher than before. Plus, if it's 5 skills. With a bit of luck, there might be an all-around Sejun number 23 capable of both farming and cooking. For reference, 23 is a famous basketball player's jersey number. I have to germinate it. Sejun quickly grabbed the regular dragon fruit seed and the gifted dragon fruit seed and headed to Camille Dision. Kiki. Kaya. Yeah, nice to see you. He greeted the destruction pioneers and destruction devourers who welcomed him and planted the seeds. Then, Vice Chairman Theo cut this onion. Hut got it, meow. Slice. Here you go, meow. Thanks. Sejun received 2 onion halves from Theo and placed them over his eyes. It stings. He forced himself to cry. Drip, drip. Sejun's tears dropped onto the soil where the dragon fruit seeds were planted. A moment later. Creak. The 2 dragon fruit seeds rapidly germinated, absorbing Sejun's tears and the energy of creation that had spread around. Once the dragon fruits had grown, Sejun began by checking the regular one. Not bad. The regular dragon fruit had replicated the mastery of farming tools and harvesting skills. Go and harvest. Sejun immediately sent the dragon fruit to the farm to harvest crops. Then he checked the gifted dragon fruit. There it is. Sejun smiled brightly as he saw the skills the fruit had replicated. Although it had only replicated the minimum of 3 skills, it had copied crop gigantification, delicious cooking, and fermentation. Welcome. Sejun put his arm around Sejun number 12's shoulder and walked into the kitchen. Let's get started, Sejun number 12. Now with an ally, Sejun began full-scale cooking. Whenever Sejun number 12 cooked a dish. Cooking. Sejun would use the prepared ingredients to replicate the dish with maximum efficiency. From time to time, he'd go to the brewery to brew liquor using the fermentation skill. Thanks to the help of Sejun number 12 and the farm members, food preparation went smoothly, and 3 days passed. D1 until the birthday party, 1 day left. Dawn on the 99th floor of the Black Tower. This is bad, meow. Kyung. What should we do? Pip, only 1 day left now. Kaying. Great Blackie is good at treasure hunts, though. Theo, Kyungi, Peacebees, and Blackie wore gloomy expressions. It had been 4 days since they started looking for Sejun's birthday present. Contrary to their expectations of finding it quickly, there had been no success. Theo's front paws weren't drawn to anything, and Kyungi's sense of smell hadn't picked up any unusual scent. Once tonight passes, the birthday party will begin. We have to find something tonight, meow. Kyung. That's right. Pip pip, yes. Kaying. Brothers, Great Blackie will do his best too. The four renewed their resolve and went back to sleep. When morning came, Moo, Paz, those with invitations began entering the 99th floor of the tower one by one. HMHMMHM. Sejun, having finished lunch, hummed a tune while leisurely sipping coffee. This was because he had completed cooking for 150 million people in the morning. He had prepared about 15 million more portions than the invitations Theo had sold, so there was no risk of running out of food. With this much, there shouldn't be a problem. That's what he thought. Chachu, we've arrived at where the ham god lives. Chuyo, let's pay our respects first. Jik, but which direction do we face? Pipuch ppuch. Why are you just standing there in front? Move, we're being pushed from the back. Until the hamsters of Hamk, holding the wedding invitations of Bacha and Lara, began flooding in endlessly. What, Vice Chairman Theo, did you sell these? Squeeze. Sejun grabbed Theo's cheek fat and interrogated him. Chemun Pak, I've been nachin na y'all. You did. I heely didn't, meow. Ahem. Feeling awkward, Sejun let go while squishing Theo's soft cheeks a few more times. It wasn't me this time. I'm so wrongly accused, meow. Theo looked at Sejun with a sullen expression. Sorry. Reading Theo's mood, Sejun gently laid him down and put some churu into his mouth. Pew hu hud. Chomp chomp chomp. Theo quickly cheered up and happily ate the churu. Kyung. Kaying. Seeing Theo like that, Kyungi and Blackie also flopped down in front of Sejun, and he gave them snacks as well. While Theo, Kyungi, and Blackie were lying on their backs enjoying their treats. Guys, can you go find out what's going on? Yes. Sejun sent the poisonous bees to investigate the situation. A short while later. What? All these are guests for Master Bo's wedding. Come on, you've got to invite in moderation. Hearing what the poisonous bees said, Sejun became furious. Huck. Because of Master Bo, I got scolded by Chairman Park, meow. Theo was also angry beside him. Kaiwo. Because of Bachanim, Theonim was misunderstood by Sejunim. Yona was angry too. Bacha had earned the wrath of Sejun, Theo, and Yona. Things would not go well for him once he arrived. First, I better roast some peanuts. You guys go harvest them. Kwek. Shaken, Sejun collected himself, quickly sent the mushroom ants to harvest peanuts, and went to the kitchen to start roasting them. Then, crop gigantification. He used the skill together with Sejun number 12 to increase the size of the peanuts. No matter how he looked at it, the existing peanuts weren't enough to satisfy the wave of incoming hamsters. Normally, anyone would lose morale and give up at the overwhelming number of hamsters, but Sejun gave it his all, determined to make it work. The more hopeless the situation, the more he focused on the task at hand. This trait of Sejun's had been the key to his survival all along. Thankfully, Sejun number 12 had replicated the crop gigantification skill. Sejun watched Sejun number 12 diligently using the skill while drinking a potion of mugwort juice of magic power and felt relieved. Luckily, Sejun number 12 had only the necessary skills. While the giant roasted peanuts were being prepared. Kyung. Bang. Kyungi crushed the giant peanuts into bite-sized pieces, suitable for the hamsters to eat. Sejun kept making roasted giant peanuts late into the evening to feed the hamsters. I gave it my all. Snorri. Exhausted, he began dozing off while eating dinner. The fatigue he had accumulated was catching up to him. Puhu Hut, Chairman Park is asleep, meow. Kyung. Let's hurry and find the present. Pip, I'm up now. Kilahit Kaying. He, brothers, Great Blackie is ready too. Feeling rushed, the group left Sejun behind and quickly went outside. Whoosh! Peacebees opened a dimensional gate and... There's no pull, meow. Kyung. No scent either. They worked hard to find the present. Scurry. Kilahit Kaying. From now on this land belongs to Great Blackie. Blackie also tried hard in his own way. It wasn't helpful though. Just then, whoosh, as a dimensional gate opened. Whoosh, a powerful cold wave swept through. Meow, I feel a pull, meow. Kyung, I smell good herbs too. Theo and Kyungi had found something. Thus, while the four Theo, Kyungi, Peacebees, and Blackie brothers crossed the dimensional gate in search of Sejun's gift, Sejun was left behind all alone and pitifully. Shiver, shiver. He trembled from the intense cold blowing in from the dimensional gate. Already worn out and haggard from fatigue, now asleep while eating due to it, he looked no better than a beggar. Chapter 695. Can I finally meet you now? Sejun's mental world. Oog. Why is it suddenly so cold? Sejun shrank his body. Then, this isn't the time for this. He closed his eyes and focused his mind, and then, my clones, where are you and what are you doing? Let's stop resting and get to work. He tried to locate the auras of his clones, Santa Sejun, the god of Christmas, and Destruction Sejun, the god of destruction. However, even though he was the original body, it was impossible for the insignificant Sejun to locate clones who held the class of transcendent-grade gods. Hey, how long are you guys going to rest? If the main body is struggling like this, the clones should be helping. In the end, unable to find them, Sejun shouted while looking up at the sky, hoping his clones would listen. Of course, there was no reply. Cowards, I'll just do it alone since it's unpleasant anyway. Pretending to be cool, Sejun gave up on getting help from his clones. Now I really need to sleep. He fell into a deep sleep. Shivering from the cold. Kyung. Where is this chilly wind blowing from? At this rate, the crops are going to freeze to death. Fortunately, Pinkfur, who was passing by, blocked the entrance of the dimensional gate, emitting the cold air with her front paw. It was an intensely cold but so refreshing. To Pinkfur, it only felt refreshing. Hehe, so warm. Thanks to her, Sejun was able to sleep warmly. A nameless world where endless pure white land covered with snow and ice stretched out. Perhaps because of the extreme cold, they hadn't met anyone while traveling and thus couldn't learn this world's name. And then, this way, meow. Kyung. No, it's this way. No, meow, this way has a stronger pull, meow. Theo and Kyungi, who were moving in the same direction to find Sejun's gift, started to disagree as their intended paths diverged. Each insisted on going their own way. The feeling of being pulled and the smell weren't the same thing. At that moment, pip, then I'll follow Big Brother, so Blackie, you follow Kyungi Hyung. Peacebees proposed a solution. Kilahit Kaying. Just trust in the Great Blackie. Great Blackie will make sure Kyungi Hyung doesn't get lost. Feeling proud at Peacebee's words, Blackie shouted loudly. Since we've been going forward until now, to go home we just need to go backward. It already seemed like he was lost. In this way the four split into two teams, Team Theopes and Team Kyun Black. Pew hut. Then let's find the great hybrid Chairman Park's gift and meet at the dimensional gate, meow. Kyung. Heavy got it. They began to leave footprints in opposite directions. And then, whoosh! The footprints were soon erased by newly fallen snow, as if no one had ever walked there. 55th floor of the Black Tower, at dawn. Larinum, let's go now. Yes. Bach and Lara left the house to prepare for their wedding. The ceremony was set for noon, but they had to stop by the 75th floor of the tower to get their wedding makeup done. when they arrived at the merchant passage. What's with all this traffic? Did the hamsters rent the entire place? Why are there so many hamsters? Complaints from rabbits lined up to use the merchant passage could be heard. All the hamsters from Hamk were using the merchant passage to get to the 99th floor of the tower, causing massive congestion. Did something happen in Hamk? Where is everyone going? Did something happen in Hamk? Worried about Hamk, Bache asked the hamster. Then, we're going here. They say we can see Hamgod Yonanim if we go here. The hamster answered with an excited expression, showing a piece of white paper. You are invited to the wedding of groom Bache and bride Lara. Huh? This is our wedding invitation. Bache looked at the writing on the paper and was flustered. Chewy chewy. Bache Nim, there are a lot of hamsters who want to come to the wedding. What should we do? I think we need more invitations. Kayuk. They say they're coming to give wedding gifts, so just send as many as they want. At the same time, he recalled how he had been blinded by wedding gifts when Calche asked the question. Are all these really guests for my wedding? No way, right? Bache hurried to check with the other hamsters, but all of them were holding wedding invitations for his and Lara's ceremony. It was over. Bache realized too late that something had gone terribly wrong. Sejun Nim must be really angry, right? Suddenly, he was afraid to go to the wedding venue. However, if I'm going to die, I should at least get married first. Bache still wanted to get married. Laranim, let's go. Grabbing Lara's hand, Bache joined the procession of hamsters with a resolute expression, unaware that Sejun was preparing an event just for him. Pew hut, let's find it quickly and then help Kyungi meow. Pip pip, yes. Theo and Peacebees moved swiftly across the vast snowy field. After about 30 minutes of travel, Pew hut, it's down here, meow. Boom. Theo struck the ground beneath his paws. Rumble. From the point of impact, cracks spread across the icy surface, triggering a quake. Peacebees, this way, meow. Pip pip, yes. Theo and Peacebees swiftly navigated through the splitting ice and descended below. Soon, Pew hut, we've arrived, meow. They reached a massive tower encased in ice. The tower, over 1 km tall, was made of metal. Bakink. Meow. Theo extended his dragon claws and made a hole in the ice in the tower, entering the topmost floor. Pew hut, this is it, meow. Check. He took the flat stone, located at the center of a room filled with various electronic equipment. Pip pip, big brother, congratulations. As Peacebees congratulated Theo on finding Sejun's gift. Pew hut, since Peacebees also worked hard, I'll give you a share of the gift, meow. Theo said with a generous expression. Pip pip, really? Peacebees was shocked by Theo's words. It was natural. Theo had never yielded anything related to Sejun before. It seemed Theo was now trying to act like a true older brother. At that moment, touching Dr. Jun's legacy, a monitor in the room lit up, and a beautiful woman's face appeared with a voice. Then, Pew hut, if you ask who I am, it is only right to answer. I am the right hand of the great hybrid Chairman Park, the deadly dragon Claude, hybrid golden cat, the lucky legendary merchant Park Theo, meow. As if he had been waiting, Theo launched into his self-introduction. Introducing himself was always thrilling. And, Paha, if you ask who I am, then it is only right to answer. I am the secret bodyguard of Sejun Company's Chairman Park Sejun, the singing King Park Peacebees. By the way, I like fruits. Peacebees also shyly introduced himself, something he had been preparing for and longing to do. I did it at last. I finally got to introduce myself. While Peacebees was overwhelmed with emotion from his successful introduction. Theo Park Peacebees. These are all unauthorized names. Therefore, you are classified as intruders and will be terminated. The woman on the monitor shook her head and spoke coldly. Zing. At the same time, red lights appeared on the walls of the room. Thunk thunk. Steel giants with red single eyes began to move, but meow meow storm fist. Pip pip storm fist. With the attacks from Theo and Peacebees, the steel giants collapsed easily. Then, all security robots in the lab have been destroyed. There is no way to protect the lab. According to Dr. Jun's directive, initiating overload of 10 fusion reactors and activating self-destruction protocol. In 10 minutes, all data in the lab will be incinerated. The woman on the monitor forcefully activated the fusion reactors in the long-dormant tower. Rumble. The immense heat generated by the tower instantly melted the icy ground around it, creating a vast amount of water. And, Pew Hugh Hut, at this rate everything will melt, meow. Let's quickly go to Kyungi. Pip pip, yes. Theo and Peacebees, who had caused this mess, quickly set off to find Kyungi. After the two disappeared, Chieka, the nameless world, once covered in ice, rapidly began to sink underwater with the heat-emitting tower at its center. Kyuehe Kyung. Hehe, Blackie, it's over there. Kyungi pointed toward the ice mountain, whose summit was obscured by clouds. More precisely, he pointed toward the summit that could not be seen. Kilahit Kaying. He Kyungi Hyung, let's fly. Kyung. Got it. Boom. Kyungi held Blackie and instantly reached the clouds. However, crash. Kyung. Kaying. The two began colliding with sharp, thin ice shards. It wasn't an ordinary cloud, but an ice cloud. Of course, since there was no ice strong enough to pierce the tough skin of Kyungi and Blackie, Kyungi ignored it and broke through the ice cloud, arriving in the sky. And then, Kyung. That's it. Kyungi pointed to a small sprout with blue leaves basking proudly in sunlight at the summit of the ice mountain. Baby Extreme Ice Herb. It was the Baby Extreme Ice Herb that Sejun had been looking for. Kyuehe Kyung. Hehe, Dad will now be an SS rank tower farmer. That means Dad will get stronger, and Dad's cooking will taste even better. Imagining happily, Kyungi flew toward the Baby Extreme Ice Herb. However, don't come. Crackle. The Baby Extreme Ice Herb, which held enough cold energy to bring about an ice age, resisted fiercely and froze its surroundings solidly, including Kyungi and Blackie. But then, whoosh. If I play with fire, I'll get scolded by Mom. Crackle. Kyungi lightly conjured fire to melt the ice in. Kyung. You'll get hurt if you act up. Grab. He grabbed the Baby Extreme Ice Herb with a hand engulfed in flames. Sizzle. Eek. He lightly scorched it. The Baby Extreme Ice Herb became docile as it fainted. Kilahit Kang Keikachu. Hee, that's what happens when you mess with my Hyung, achoo. While Blackie stepped proudly on the roots of the fainted Baby Extreme Ice Herb and sneezed. Kyungi, we need to go quickly, meow. Pip pip, the ice is melting. Theo and Peacebees appeared, urging them to return home. Both agreed not to mention the metal tower and steel giants, because they knew they had caused some kind of trouble. Kyung. Got it. Kilahit Kaying. Hee, let's go home. Thus, the brothers quickly headed toward the dimensional gate. On their way, rumble. The ice surged, forming waves dozens of kilometers high, swallowing the world. Fortunately, the ice in front of the dimensional gate had not melted yet. Kyung. It's Mom's foot. Kyungi ran toward Pink Fur's front paw, which was blocking the dimensional gate, and hugged one of her toes. Kyung. As something clung to her toe, Pink Fur lifted her paw from the dimensional gate to check. Naturally, Kyungi, who was clinging to her toe, crossed the gate and arrived on the 99th floor of the Black Tower. Kyuehe Kyung. Hehe, Mom, Kyungi's back. Kyung. Are you hurt anywhere? While Pink Fur checked over Kyungi's body. Pew Hut, we're home, meow. Beheh, we made it back. Kilahit Kaying. Hee, Great Blackie has returned safely. Theo, Peacebees, and Blackie also crossed the dimensional gate and returned. Pip Pip, close it. As soon as Peacebees quickly closed the gate. Kaboom! A massive wave engulfed the spot where the dimensional gate had been. Thus, the nameless world where all living beings had vanished. Dr. Jun, can I finally meet you now? The woman in the monitor, who had guarded the ownerless tower for hundreds of years, lowered her power with a sad expression. And then, 10, 9, 8, 1, destroying Dr. Park Sejun's laboratory. Thank you everyone for your hard work. With the final message on a black screen. Kaboom! The already destroyed world was destroyed once more, this time forever. Earth E264, destroyed by an ice age. Annihilated. System 371, mechanically recorded another sad history. Chapter 696, Thank You for Being Born. The sanctuary where Sejun's clones reside. Sejun number 1 Nim, at this rate, won't the main body die? Exactly. The main body is so frail, so why can't he just stay still, and why does he keep rushing into things? To the complaint of destruction Sejun, Santa Sejun responded with a resentful voice. They were Sejun's clones. No matter how transcendent a god they may be, if the main body dies, they vanish too. So they had many complaints toward the main body Sejun, who kept exposing himself to danger. Unbeknownst to Sejun, he had overexerted himself preparing for this birthday party, and the balance that Theo had barely managed to restore through a complete transformation was once again faltering. Moreover, a major danger was approaching the main body. Originally, it should have been a blessing, but to the main body, it was an excessive blessing, in other words, poison. A truly fragile and feeble physical body. At this rate, if he overdoes it again, something bad will happen. We need to come up with a countermeasure. Sejun number 1 Nim, what are you going to do? Prepare number 3 to block the main body's crisis. Yes. Haha, escaping from being the youngest. At Santa Sejun's decision, Destruction Sejun cheered with delight. Though capable, his fundamental nature was Sejun, so his thoughts often aligned with the main body. And so, the two decided to raise Sejun number 3. Inside Theo's mental world, the incubator where Sejun's clones are raised. Let's grill some fish. Let's make some churu. They contacted the supergiant Chairman Park number 3, who was diligently creating mountains of grilled fish and lakes of churu. And then, hoo-hoot, is it finally time for me to step up? Time to show the main body just how amazing I am. With prideful excitement, the supergiant Chairman Park number 3 began pondering. What kind of god should I become? 99th floor of the Black Tower. All right. Sejun woke up energetically as always. Maintain cleanliness. He used his skill to clean himself and his companions. Meow. Kaying. After taking care of the Theo couple and the Blackie family. Clunk. He headed for the void storage. Sigh. A deep sigh burst out from Sejun. To think this is what I'd be doing today, too. Even on the day of his birthday party, he had to gather ingredients for cooking. For reference, no one had asked Sejun to cook, and no one was expecting some grand feast either. Theo may have sold an absurd number of invitations, but refunds could solve that. Even if wedding guests for Bachai's ceremony were turned away due to full capacity, no one would say anything. However, Sejun was the type who hated giving back money that had entered his pocket and secretly enjoyed hardship. In short, he was bringing hardship upon himself. So while Sejun continued to work as usual, even on his birthday. Mehe over here. Nihe, Mimira Nai, I'm so excited. Yuahehe, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Guests with invitations and wedding cards started entering, and the 99th floor of the tower began to fill. And then, Ulrichnam, there's no seaweed soup on this side. Moo moo. Got it, food is coming out, move aside. Kwek. We're short on spoons over here. The farm members were busily transporting and setting up seaweed soup, choco pie, japchae, honey rice cake, and more that Sejun had prepared. Kyung. Kyungi carefully moved a black chocolate cake, shaped like the Black Tower, using telekinesis. On top of the cake stood chocolate statues of Sejun, his companions, the farm family, and major customers, each brimming with life. At the very front stood Sejun with both hands on his sides in an attempt to look cool. On Sejun's right knee sat Theo, and hanging from Theo's tail was Yona. On the straw hat atop his head sat Flamey and Sweetie. On his left side was Kyungi. On his left shoulder sat Peacebees. In his sling bag, Blackie and his subordinates poked their heads out. A small statue of Toriang was placed on Sejun's shoe. To Sejun's left, Walgang, Walha, Huk Walbach, Chu Chu, and Black Torch were holding hands. To his right stood Piat, Urin, Poyo, and the guardian beasts. On either side of them, mushroom ants and poisonous bees surrounded the cake. Behind Sejun stood Pinkfur, the Minotaur King, the Black Minotaurs, and wolves. The rest of the figures were made proportional to the number of invitations purchased. The reason Sejun was able to create such detailed sculptures in a short amount of time was thanks to the talent. Kneading. Originally, it only applied to stone, but chocolate bricks were also considered as stone and thus could be used. Though not visible from the front, there were also heartfelt birthday messages from Sejun written on the bases of the statues. Aileen, take this. Sejun, knowing Aileen would be disappointed if she didn't get one, sent her a giant chocolate statue made from 50,000 chocolate bricks. This one's for Ace. Of course, he sent one to Ace as well. Ace was made with 20,000 bricks. As a result, Mud's mental state, who had to make an additional 70,000 chocolate bricks, crumbled once again before being barely restored by Hell. To the greatest black dragon in the world, the one I love and miss the most, Aileen Pratani, from Sejun Heart Suit. Kyuhihihi, I'll have to put this in the collection vault too. Upon seeing the message at the bottom of the statue, Aileen beamed and carried the chocolate statue to the family's collection vault. Ancestors, I'm going to use this spot. Clang! She tossed aside the black lightning, made by wrapping the great black dragon's scale around the great golden dragon's horn, and placed her chocolate statue in its place. And so, Aileen began slowly filling the ancestral collection vault with the gifts Sejun had given her. Kyuhihi. With satisfied footsteps, she exited the vault. Kyuhihi, so tasty. Ace, I want to eat chocolate too. She reached her hand out toward Ace, who was cherishing his own chocolate statue, quite boldly. No, this was a gift from my brother-in-law to me. Look here, it says, to the cute brother-in-law Bongryong Ace Pratani, who loves Yongari chicken. At first he resisted, but, do you really not want to share? When Aileen asked him seriously. No, here. With a very reluctant face, Ace broke off the tip of his tail and handed it to Aileen. But then, all of the tail and the wings too. Aileen demanded Ace's whole tail and wings. Puhiting Mom. Eventually, Ace burst into tears and called for Elizabeth. Aileen, I told you not to bully your little brother. While Aileen was being scolded by her mother. Kyuang. No, I think potato flowers would be more suitable over there. Pinkfur was supervising the poisonous bees and mushroom ants while decorating the wedding venue. On both sides of the path where the bride and groom would walk, various flowers from the farm, yellow cherry tomato flowers, white potato flowers, and purple sweet potato blossoms, were arranged in vibrant colors, blessing the couple's journey to be one walked upon a road of flowers. Wow, it's beautiful. So Pinkfur had this kind of talent. Sejun realized he had misunderstood Pinkfur. Since she was always training with the Minotaur King, he had thought she had a totally rough personality, but sensitive Pinkfur liked flowers. Of course, she also liked eating them. For reference, the reason Pinkfur trained with the Minotaur King wasn't just to become stronger. It was also for health management, so she could stay with Kyungi for a long time. A short while later, when it was time for the birthday party to start. Thump thump. Sejun and his companions, riding on the Minotaur King's shoulders, appeared in front of the birthday cake. Then let's begin the birthday party now. Happy birthday. As Sejun started singing, Happy birthday, meow. Kyung. Pip pip happy birthday. Kaying. Kyung. Moo. Everyone began singing along, and the other participants started following in clumsy harmony, using singer Peacebee's song as a guide. Happy birthday to all my beloved ones. As the song reached its climax, Kaiwat Kaiwat Kaiwat, power of fire. Lona cast a giant fire into the sky using her hellfire magic, and simultaneously applied fire resistance and shield magic on the cake via silent casting. Because the chocolate statue mustn't melt or break from hellfire's heat. Okay, now blow out the fire with a hoo, meow. Kaiwat. Kei kuying. Pip pip. Kuwang. Kei killing. Moo. With Sejun's shout, his companions blew air toward the hellfire. Because many of them had strong breath, a massive typhoon arose, but this time, Iona continued to inject magic power, so the hellfire didn't extinguish right away and faded at the perfect timing. Once the candle blowing was over, Kyungi moved the statue, Vice Chairman Theo Claus. Kyung. Pew Hut got it meow. Snap. Sejun cleared the statue and had Theo bring out his claws. It was time for the cake-cutting ceremony. Everyone come hold Theo's paw. Pipayak. Sejun got ready to cut the cake together with everyone. Walbach come too. Pipayak. Okay. Pipayak. Dad take me too. When Sejun called Hugh Walbach, who was with the other rabbits, he came bringing the whining black torch and joined to hold Theo's front paw. It would have been nice if Flamey were here. Sejun felt regret as he thought of Flamey, who couldn't attend the birthday party because of World Tree School. But of course, the main character always appears at the end. Hee Sejunum, I'm here. Happy birthday to everyone. Flamey, using law of creation, become weak when holding breath and power, frail pretty girl, appeared on the 99th floor of the tower. Oh, Flamey, welcome. Did you graduate from World Tree School? No, it's vacation. Of course, that was a lie. The World Trees were still being scolded by Flamey's avatar, Flamey number 330, while diligently taking nutrient supplements. Really? Either way, glad you're here. Let's cut the cake together. Okay. With Flamey's arrival, the Sejun family was complete. All right, let's cut it. They all held onto Theo's front paw and cut the cake. Slice. The cake was cleanly sliced in half, and Hugh Walbach took Black Torch and returned to where the other rabbits were. Hugh Walbach was now the ruler of the Red Ribbon Kingdom. He had to care for the other rabbits. Happy birthday to everyone, now let's eat. With Sejun's shout, the birthday party truly began and everyone started eating. And then, your soul is greatly fulfilled by the shower of numerous praises. Mental strength increases by 70. As everyone showered praises after eating Sejun's food, his mental strength began to rise rapidly. Fortunately, there was no crisis. Kilahit Kaying. Great Blackie knew the sunfish butler might be in danger, so I raised your mental strength a lot. This is Great Blackie's foresight. It was because Blackie had significantly increased Sejun's mental strength potential when he suppressed the black dragon in Sejun's mental world after Sejun received the title, Honorary Great Dragon. Thanks to that, Sejun didn't faint and was able to receive everyone's praise while his mental strength increased. Sejun looked happily at the message of his mental strength rising. At that moment, Pew Hut, Great Hybrid Chairman Park, accept the birthday present that I, Vice Chairman Theo and Peacebees have prepared meow. As Theo spoke and pulled a tablet from his bag. Bihe, Sejunum happy birthday. Peacebees offered his congratulations to Sejun. Kuehe Kyung. Hehe, Kyungi also prepared a gift with Blackie for Dad. Kyungi quickly pulled out the gift for Sejun, that he had prepared from his snack pouch. Kilahit kaying. He, Butler. Great Blackie found it together with brother Kyungi. Blackie made a big show of it. Hehit, I prepared a birthday gift for you too, Sejun. Flamey also brought out a golden apple. Thanks everyone. Before checking the gifts, Sejun first expressed his gratitude. And then, Park Theo, Park Flamey, Park Kyungi, Park Peacebees, Park Blackie, happy birthday. Thank you for being born. I'm really fortunate to have met you all. He met each of their eyes one by one and gave his birthday wishes. And I prepared a birthday gift too. Overwhelmed with emotion, Sejun felt like he might cry, so he quickly handed out the birthday coupons he had prepared. Compared to the gifts the five had brought, his was modest but Puhu Hut, exclusive rights to Chairman Park's knee Puhu Hut, for 2 years Puhu Hut. He, basking in the sun for 1 hour he, while receiving Sejunum's petting he. Kuehe kyung kuehe. Hedihe, food made by dad hedihe, until full hedihe. Bihe, making a song together bihe, with Sejunum bihe. Kilahit kang kilahit. He, a coupon to exchange for 100 roasted sweet potatoes he, for Great Blackie by the butler he. The companions were overjoyed, so much that they couldn't contain their bursting laughter. Seeing them like that, Sejun also smiled happily. And so, the unforgettable second birthday party at the Black Tower blossomed in full. Chapter 697, Guys, Strike Master Bo's Souls Thoroughly. 99th floor of the Black Tower. While the 5 siblings of Theo, Flamey, Kyungi, Peacebees, and Blackie were happily holding their coupons. Let's see here. Sejun checked the gifts they had brought. Hehe, finally I've got them all. The first thing he checked was the baby extreme ice herb. It caught his eye immediately. Normally, Sejun wouldn't be able to touch it due to the intense cold, but Kyungi had made it lukewarm, out of concern for Sejun's safety, so it was fine for now. Baby extreme ice herb, an extreme ice herb that, by low probability, gained spiritual energy. Its medicinal effect has increased greatly. As it has not fully matured yet, its efficacy is still low. When consumed, all stats increase by 700 and awakens low-grade ice attribute talents, but you will be cursed by the baby extreme ice herb, stopping all growth for 1 year and making you shiver from cold. A massive bad karma has been accumulated from the destruction of a world. If consumed without resolving this karma, the karma is inherited. Usage restriction, LV, 100 or higher, all stats above 50,000. Grade SSS. Bad karma. It destroyed a whole world, this tiny thing. Well, let's plan it for now. He had to raise them all to complete the quest anyway. Ignoring the description, Sejun quickly moved the baby extreme ice herb to the field where he had planted the other baby herbs. The quest wasn't completed just by collecting the 5 baby herbs. He had to raise them into excellent herbs as well. Thus, Sejun arrived at the field. Kids, welcome your youngest sibling. Sejun dug a hole and carefully planted the baby extreme ice herb so its roots wouldn't get damaged. What's this tablet? Next, Sejun examined the tablet and title. One who glimpsed long into the beginning has identified the essence of the tablet. Sejun's pupils turned golden as he uncovered the tablet's secret. And then, oh, only one left now. Soon, I'll be able to converse directly with Sejunum. System 371 rejoiced. The tablet brought by Theo was Code 3 to access System 371. Thus, with Code 2 and Code 3 now in hand. Hezeli. Where did Theo and Peacebees find this? System, just wait a bit, I'll have you impeached soon. As he delighted in the thought of getting rid of System 371, who had unfairly wronged him. This one's probably for eating, right? He looked at the last remaining item, Flamey's apple, golden flame apple. Like the fire apple that Flamey had given him before, even the power of the beginning couldn't reveal its options, and unlike the fire apple, it didn't feel cool to the touch. Shudder. Instead, it still gave him goosebumps. Back then it was due to the coolness, but this time it was due to an instinctive sense of awe. Can I eat this? Cowardly Sejun suddenly became afraid to eat it. Do you want to eat it? He carefully handed the golden flame apple to Pottery, but no, I absolutely can't eat that. Pottery firmly rejected it. It was only natural. If he ate something that Flamey had given Sejun as a gift, at minimum, he'd be annihilated. You could have just said you didn't want it. Feeling hurt by Pottery's stern rejection, Sejun pouted and fidgeted with the golden flame apple as he approached the baby extreme flame herb. No. He was rejected again. Even a baby knew what it was. Thus, Sejun was turned down twice. Fine. If you don't want it, forget it. I'll eat it. Crunch. In a fit of frustration, Sejun took a big bite of the apple. Oh, tastes good. Sejun was amazed at the flavor. Adios. It's going to be very hot. Pottery looked at Sejun with pity. And then you have consumed the golden flame apple. All stat potential has increased by 50,000. All stats have increased by 3,000. The blessing of the sacred golden flame burns away the impurities in your body. Arg, it's hot. F whoosh. As his body ignited, Sejun underwent yet another complete transformation. How many times has he gone through transformation now? Pew hut, Chairman Park is burning well, meow. Sejunum is going to be a bit healthier now. Kueha kuang. Hey, all the bad stuff in Dad's body is disappearing. Pip Sejunum, hang in there. Before anyone realized, the group had begun watching Sejun. It was to protect Sejun's privacy once the transformation was complete. Kilahit kaying. Smells like meat, it's butler roast. Of course, not everyone was respectful. Hey, what do you mean, it's butler roast? Hearing Blackie's words, Sejun shouted angrily. Thanks to his previous transformations, Sejun had remained conscious this time. A short while later, as there wasn't much to burn away, Sejun's transformation ended in just an hour. Pew hut, I Vice Chairman Theo shall protect the privacy of the great hybrid Chairman Park, meow. Kyungi too shall protect Dad's privacy. Theo and Kyungi clung to Sejun's body, covering him to guard his privacy. Just give me clothes. Covered front and back by Theo and Kyungi, Sejun spoke in an embarrassed voice and quickly got dressed. Once Sejun was fully clothed. Pew hut, Chairman Park, I'm using my coupon now, meow. Extend my exclusive knee period by 2 more years, meow. Kilahit kaying. Butler. Hand over 100 roasted and dried sweet potatoes to Great Blackie. Theo and Blackie immediately used their coupons, while Flamey, Kyungi and Peacebees carefully stored theirs to use later. Then, here, take it, it's a birthday present. Thank you, I prepared a birthday present for you too. Thanks, I'll use it well. The residents of the tower who came to the birthday party began handing over their prepared gifts. It wasn't just a one-way giving or receiving. Everyone gave and received gifts. After all, it was everyone's birthday party. As the gift exchange naturally created the peak atmosphere of the birthday party. Thud thud. The Minotaur King approached Sejun. Kayab. Sejunum, I'm here. Holding the nape of the groom Bache, who was wearing a tuxedo. Because Sejun had earnestly asked him to catch Bache when he appeared. Hehe, our new groom Master Bo has arrived. Sejun grinned wickedly as he welcomed Bache. Kayap Kaiwo. Yes, I'm sorry. Knowing his crime, Bache began by apologizing. But even with Bache's apology, there was no forgiveness in Sejun's eyes. That only made Bache more anxious, and that intuition was spot on. Minotaur King, lay Master Bo down. Sejun forced Bache to lie down. He planned to introduce Bache to Korea's traditional way of welcoming a new groom. Master Bo, it's a good thing for a newlyweds, but it might hurt a little. Hehe. Kaiwak. No, Your refusal is rejected. Whack. Crackle. Kuug. Rejecting Bachai's refusal, Sejun borrowed Kyungi's thunderbolt staff and struck Bachai's souls with full force to demonstrate. Guys, strike Master Bo's souls thoroughly. Hit without strength. Especially you Kyungi. Go really easy, okay? TL. https://www.tiktok.com/7quintillion369 He cautioned the group and ordered them to strike Bachai's souls. Hete 1. Puhuhut 2 Meow. Hete 3. Kuehat Kuang. Hedihe 4. Kuug. Bahihe 5. Kilahit Kaying. Hehe 6. As Sejun and the group joyfully smacked Bachai's souls. Thud. Sejunim, the wedding is about to start. Pink Fur called out to Sejun, and only then was Bachai allowed to get up. Kayug Kayug Kayug. Sejunim, for your wedding I'll Ellie provide the newlywed service. Bachai said, staring at Sejun with eyes full of resentment. Me too. Belatedly realizing from Bachai's words that he could be next, Sejun panicked. Kyungi, if Dad gets hit, you won't stay quiet, right? Sejun looked at Kyungi, eyes pleading for help. Kyung. That's right, if anyone hits Dad, Kyungi will punish them. Kyungi gave Sejun the answer he wanted. Hehe, Master Bo, if you want to hit me, you'll have to deal with our Kyungi. With Kyungi's response, Sejun arrogantly threatened Bachai. Kayub. TCH. Bachai made a face of deep frustration and headed toward the venue. Kaiwat, I'll go ahead too. Yona, who was to officiate the wedding, also hurried to move. And then, Hazeli. Victory. Feeling triumphant after beating Bachai, Sejun strutted around with pride. Puhuhut, Chairman Park, your face is rotting, meow. Everyone step on him, meow. Hehe Sejunum, that expression is bad. Kuehat Kuang. Heliha, Dad is making that bad face again. Bahiha, Sejunum, that face is wrong. Kilahit Kaying. He, Butler's face is rotting again, step on it. The group charged toward Sejun's face, while Sejun's face was being stepped on by the group. Chewy. Now the groom shall make his entrance. With Hamgod Church Archbishop Kalcha as the MC, the wedding ceremony began, and Dandadadan. To the tune of the wedding march, Bachai, dressed in a black tuxedo, made a dignified entrance amid everyone's applause. Kaiwok. Gone was Bachai's earlier face of frustration. He now wore an expression as though he owned the world. Master Bo, be happy. Sejun wished happiness for Bachai as he watched him. Then the bride made her entrance. To soft music, Lara walked in hand with her father Rollo. Lara was wearing a carrot-colored dress, and in her hand was a beautiful bouquet with carrot flowers as the main feature, mixed with flowers of different colors as accents, prepared by Pink Fur. As Lara and Rollo approached Bachai, Bachai hurriedly went out to meet them. Rollo whispered something to Bachai, who nodded intensely with a slightly aggrieved look in his eyes. What did he say? Puhuhut. Rollo told Master Bo that if he makes Lara cry, he won't stand for it, meow. And he also told him never to create secret funds, meow. Sejun understood why Bachai looked so aggrieved. Creating one himself but telling another not to, anyone would feel wronged. After Rollo returned to his seat, Bachai and Lara stood before Yona. Kaiwat, here a hamster and a rabbit meet. Yona began the wedding officiation. Having already officiated the wedding of Hugh Walbach and Chu Chu, Yona thought this would be an easy task, but trouble appeared from an unexpected place. Chewy. Oh, to gaze upon the visage of Hamgod, Hammon, TL, Hammon equals Amen. Jajabai. Oh, Hamgod, Hammon. Jajik. Hammon. The hamsters with their sparkling eyes kept shouting, Hammon in awe every time Yona spoke, making it impossible to proceed. Kaiwo. Eventually, irritated Iona raised her magic power. Chewy chewy. Hamgod is angry, everyone be quiet. Calche, the host, stepped up to quiet the hamsters. Finally, the hamsters settled down. However, it's so annoying to only officiate other people's weddings. I want to marry Theonim too. Kairo 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 Kairo. Iona's rage didn't subside and only grew stronger. Vice Chairman Theo, go handle this. Puhut understood meow. Theo hurried over and gently patted Iona's head a few times. Kaiwat Kaiwat Kaiwat. Iona's anger vanished instantly. It seemed some matches were truly made in heaven. With that, the ceremony resumed. Now the bride will throw the bouquet. Those who wish to catch it, please stand behind the bride. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Tens of thousands of people quickly rushed behind Lara to catch the bouquet. Ahem. I should get married too. Sejun quietly joined the crowd. Puhut, Chairman Park, leave it to me, meow. Kueha Kuang. Haliha, Kuangi will catch the bouquet for you. Pip pip, I'll snatch it right away. The group prepared to help Sejun catch the bouquet. Then, Chewy. Now on the count of 3 the bouquet will be thrown. 1, 2, 3. Pip pip. As Calche counted to 3, Lara tossed the bouquet. At that moment, whoosh. A blinding flash of light exploded. Huh. By the time the light vanished, the bouquet was gone too. What happened? Where did it go? The guests looked around in confusion. They searched for the bouquet for a long time, but it was nowhere to be seen, as if it had vanished into thin air. My bouquet. Sejun was disappointed. And then, meow. Vice Chairman Theo couldn't see anything because it was too bright, meow. Where did Great Hybrid Chairman Park's bouquet go, meow? Kuang. Kuangi couldn't see anything either because it was too bright. Pip pip, Sejunim, I'm also weak to light. The group exaggerated their acting and feigned ignorance. Naturally, the clueless Sejun didn't notice their obvious act. With the slight commotion over the disappearing bouquet, the wedding ended and the reception began. Black Tower Administrator's Area. Kuhihihi, does this mean I get to marry Sejun within 6 months now? Aileen smiled brightly, holding the bouquet in her hands. Chapter 698. Those who try to ruin the wedding. In the name of love and justice, I will not forgive you. Black Tower, 99th floor. Jejuwe. What are these peanuts? They're so delicious. Chuvi. Oh my goodness, I never knew such roasted peanuts existed. The hamsters were shocked after eating the peanut stir-fry served as a meal at the reception. It was the first time they had tasted such a delicious peanut stir-fry. Haha, of course it's delicious. Who do you think grew them? Sejun was about to boast while watching the hamsters but quickly managed his expression. Peepayan. Chairman Park, there's a rotten aura coming onto your face, meow. Because Theo was staring intently at his face. As the hamsters were lost in eating Sejun's peanut stir-fry, you have fed 10 people to their satisfaction. Due to the effect of tidal, saint of feeding, all stats have increased by 2. Messages began to appear showing that Sejun's stats were increasing due to the activation of his tidal effect. The bellies of the birthday party participants were starting to get full. Since most of the birthday party participants had previously eaten Sejun's food to their heart's content, the tidal effect was not triggered that much. Heh, nice. Sejun looked at the messages with satisfaction. However, after a while you have fed 1,000 people to their satisfaction. Due to the effect of tidal, saint of feeding, all stats have increased by 200. Your soul is greatly fulfilled by the pouring praise of many. Mental strength increases by 70. Suddenly, stats and mental strength began to rise steeply. This was because the hamster wedding guests had now all filled their bellies. Hamsters had small stomachs. And although Sejun had previously fully fed hamsters in Hamk, that was only 5 million, a mere 0.01% of Hamk's total population of 50 billion. The remaining 99.99% were hamsters filling their stomachs with Sejun's food for the first time today. He had forgotten the most important thing, being too focused on preparing the dishes. I need to stop this. Sejun sensed the danger. But you have fed 10,000 people to their satisfaction. Due to the effect of tidal, saint of feeding, all stats have increased by 2,000. Before Sejun could do anything, stats and mental strength poured into him. Urg! An enormous burden fell on his body and mind, causing his physical body and soul to begin collapsing. At that moment, Payat! Light exploded from Theo's body. Is it my turn to step in? Sejun's voice came from the light. It was Supergiant Chairman Park number 3. Supergiant Chairman Park number 3 transformed into a mass of light, exited from Theo's body, and soared into the sky. At the same time, the energy that had been burdening Sejun's body was absorbed into the mass of light floating in the sky, which became increasingly larger. You again. As the burdensome energy disappeared, the pain vanished, and Sejun looked up at the sky. It was definitely the Supergiant Chairman Park number 3 who had been in Theo's mental world, a now familiar situation. However, the appearance of Ultra Supergiant Chairman Park number 3, who had absorbed the massive stats and mental strength pouring into Sejun, was unfamiliar. Hey, don't wear that kind of dress with my face. Because Ultra Supergiant Chairman Park number 3 was wearing a black dress adorned with laces. My mistake. At the main body's reprimand, Ultra Supergiant Chairman Park number 3 hurriedly changed into a black tuxedo. This body is wedding Sejun, the god of marriage. Those who try to ruin the wedding. In the name of love and justice, I will not forgive you. No, wedding Sejun, the god of marriage. Don't say such lines while only folding your middle and ring fingers. The embarrassment was for the main body to bear. Thus, wedding Sejun, the god of marriage, was born. Black Tower's Tower Farmer Park Sejun's clone has become wedding Sejun, the god of marriage. You have achieved the great creation feat of having a transcendental grade clone. This is a clone beyond what Black Tower's Tower Farmer Park Sejun can handle. The rewards for the great creation feat have been significantly reduced. As a reward for achieving the great creation feat, Black Tower's Tower Farmer Park Sejun's divinity has increased by 10. The clone, wedding Sejun, the god of marriage, will act independently until the main body grows. Messages announcing the achievements appeared. Yeah, I'm worse than my clone. As Sejun read the messages, his mood worsened. You have achieved the great creation feat of creating 3 clones far superior to yourself. As a reward for achieving the great creation feat, talent, main body is inferior to clones has bloomed. As a reward for achieving the great creation feat, your stay fee is reduced by 10%. A new achievement message appeared. 10% reduction in stay fee. Just need to reduce it by about 20% more to reach 100%. Thanks to that, Sejun's mood quickly brightened. Talent, main body is inferior to clones. The clones naturally accept the weakness of the main body. That was until he read the talent's description properly. Main body Park Sejun, hurry up and grow. Let's meet again next time. Though I doubt it. Here, this is a gift. Snap. Wedding Sejun mocked the original Sejun thoroughly and snapped his fingers. He was clearly jealous of the main body that could use fusion skills with Theo. Truly, like a clone of Sejun, wedding Sejun, the god of marriage, has bestowed a blessing of marriage upon Black Tower's Tower Farmer Park Sejun. If you help 100 couples get married within a year, something good will happen. A green aura wrapped around Sejun, and a blessing was cast. However, I'm already upset that Master Bo got married, and now I have to marry off 100 couples. No way, I'm not doing it. Sejun frowned after confirming the blessing's content. Then see you at the wedding. Wedding Sejun greeted the main body and vanished in an instant, and the birthday party and reception continued late into the night. Thus, a hectic day came to an end. Afterward, ominous rumors spread that wedding Sejun, the god of marriage, appeared at every wedding and took 10% of the congratulatory money. Forest of Creation. Hee, I'm back. Flamey, who had enjoyed herself at the birthday party, returned. Did you find the problem? The trial statue asked Flamey that question. Although it already knew she hadn't achieved anything, it was its duty to ask. And then, nope. Flamey admitted her failure with a very bright expression. I see, but it's good that you still look cheerful. Don't be disappointed by failure and keep searching. Yes. Thank you. Flamey gave heartfelt thanks, knowing the trial statue had turned a blind eye to her mischief. While Flamey and the trial statue were having a conversation, Flamey's consciousness connected with the avatars. While Flamey's power had weakened, the main body couldn't handle the power of the avatars, so the connection had been lost. And then, oh! Flamey, now connected to the avatars, was startled. Why are the leaders there? Because the 9 leaders of the Great Dragon Clan were in an unexpected location, and not in their usual lazy state, but in an energetic manner. Temple of the Creator God. Hey, isn't it too much to call us out without a single contact until now, just to put us to work? Exactly, Sejun made a lot of delicious dishes. He must have saved some for us, right? By the way, looking at Sejun Company's full-time employees, they work 1 week and rest 1 day. Shouldn't we, as great dragons, work for 1 hour and rest a whole day? The 9 leaders, who had been summoned by the Creator God to work, grumbled. When there was no contact, they felt left out. But now that they had been called and were put to work, they realized the silent days were better. The Creator God had believed, until now, that the leaders were diligently managing the dragons and the tower. That's not true. The leaders drink the alcohol Sejun makes and play every day. They say the alcohol Sejun makes is super delicious. What, drinking and goofing off every single day? Even I, the Creator God, am working. How outrageous. Enraged by the tattling of Work Supervisor Flamey number 205, the Creator God immediately summoned the leaders and put them to work. Great dragons, the Creator God said, if you're done, build a bed. Great dragons, the Creator God said, the lighting is too bright. Thanks to that, Emila and Amur, who had to work with the grumpy leaders, were having a miserable time. Still, they were able to endure with the hope that the work would soon be done. Thanks to the help of the 9 leaders, by the time Sejun came to the temple of the Creator God, the prison, where the Creator God would reside, was almost complete. Thus, preparations for Sejun to cross into the land of destruction were nearly complete. All right. Sejun, who had blacked out while drinking the night before, woke up feeling refreshed. Thanks to his rebirth, he had no hangover at all. Have I become an alcoholic Sejun now? Sejun was about to get smug about his improved drinking capacity. At that moment, Theo, still half asleep, placed his front paw on Sejun's face to prevent him from getting smug, and what a sharp little guy, how did he know? Sejun quickly fixed his expression. If he got any more smug here, he'd be stepped on. It's not rotten, right? Sejun checked his condition, feeling his face with his hand. Meow. Kaying. He gathered Theo, the couple, and the Blackie family and stood up. Then, clack, he opened the void storage and began his day. First, I have to restock the storage. Because most of the ingredients had been used up at yesterday's party, the storage was severely empty. Sejun decided to fill it up first to feel secure. Vice Chairman Theo claws. Press. Sejun pressed Theo's claws and hunted calamities in the farm, then circled the 10th tower and the Camule Disiang, before returning to the Black Tower. And then, but what are they all doing that they're not moving? Sejun looked at the 9 dragon statues standing still at the fountain and wondered. There had been no word from them since they were summoned by the Creator God. They did play quite a lot. Sejun felt a bit smug, knowing the Nine Dragons Council had been summoned by the Creator God. At that moment, thump thump, Kyuwang. Sejunam, good morning. Pink Fur arrived carrying Kyungi. Yeah, good morning, just a second. Sejun took the snack pouch from Kyungi and Pink Fur and headed to the kitchen. Cooking. He replicated the choco pie made by Sejun number 12 and filled Pink Fur's snack pouch. Pink Fur then went off to train. A little later, after breakfast, Pew Hut, Great Hybrid Chairman Park, I'll go earn lots of money, meow. Kyueha Kyuang. Haha, Kyungi's heading to the herb field. After sending Theo and Kyungi off to work for the first time in a while, Sejun resumed his tasks. He worked all morning, ate lunch, then worked diligently again until evening. When Theo and Kyungi returned, they had dinner together. And then, let's sleep now. He went to bed. Of course, it wasn't real sleep. After taking a temporary break for the birthday party preparations, Sejun resumed purifying the world's energy. Blackie's mental world. Everyone, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. While Blackie and his subordinates were apologizing to the souls. Pew Hut, Ultramini Chairman Park number 4, say hello, meow. This is our great hybrid Chairman Park, meow. Theo introduced Sejun to a tiny Sejun, about the size of a finger joint, standing on his paw. Hello. Where do they keep coming from? Sejun extended his hand and greeted Ultramini Chairman Park number 4, wondering in confusion. Grab. Still unable to speak, Ultramini Chairman Park number 4 happily embraced Sejun's finger. Hello to you too, Gilson Nightmare. Yes, hello. After exchanging greetings, as Sejun and the group were trying to soothe the souls. Gyuraruk. A red aura emerged from one of the souls, and Corruption appeared. Oh, nice to see you. Sejun greeted Corruption too. Having seen it so many times, Sejun felt that even the grotesque form of Corruption, once terrifying, had become oddly tolerable through familiarity. Are the one who? Corruption tried to speak to Sejun, with what seemed like a somewhat friendly tone. Vice Chairman Theo, it's time for the CO beam. Pew Hut ready, meow. Here it comes, CO beam. Meow. Thinking it was going to say something ominous again, Sejun struck preemptively without hesitation. F whoosh. Cuckoo. You really aren't afraid of me. Corruption laughed as it vanished. Chapter 699. It belongs to Great Blackie. 99th floor of the Black Tower. You have completely eliminated the corruption within the world's energy and completed the purified world's energy. You have completed the quest. As a quest completion reward, all stats have increased by 7. As a quest completion reward, the stay fee for the 0th floor has been reduced by 0.0001%. It's done. Sejun welcomed the morning while checking the quest reward messages. And then, meow, kaying. He began his morning routine by picking up the still sleeping Theo couple and the Blackie family. While he was working like that, thud thud, Pink Fur came to visit. A little later, after breakfast was over, Pew Hut, Chairman Park, I'll go make lots of money today, meow. Kyueha Kyuang. Hehe, Kyungi will head out too. Theo and Kyungi went off to work. Let's go, Blackie. Kilahit Kaying. Hee Butler, Great Blackie will harvest all the sweet potatoes. Sejun worked on the farm with Blackie. You have harvested stamina corn. While Sejun was harvesting corn, guys, the Great Blackie will harvest them up without damage. Blackie started harvesting sweet potatoes in the sweet potato field. About an hour passed after they began working. Kilahit. Great Blackie is now rich with roasted and dried sweet potatoes. In between work, Blackie grinned as he looked at the roasted and dried sweet potatoes stuffed in his snack pouch. Out of the 100 pieces of roasted and dried sweet potatoes received as a birthday gift yesterday, he had eaten 5, leaving 95. At that moment, Park Blackie, are you going to keep staring at your pouch and not work? If you keep it up, I'm confiscating your roasted and dried sweet potatoes. Sejun, who had finished harvesting the cornfield, approached and nagged him. Kaying, tch, stingy butler. Grumbling Blackie. Chomp, bit and tugged on a sweet potato stem in front of him with his teeth. Crunch. Kaying. Among the sweet potatoes he dug out, there was one that was clearly different in size and energy compared to the others. And then, the third apostle of creation, the guardian of Park Sejun, the tower farmer of the Black Tower, Park Blackie, the noble wolf who hunts roasted and dried sweet potato slices, has harvested a new variety of extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato. A message appeared before Sejun. Huh. The noble wolf who hunts roasted and dried sweet potato slices. What caught Sejun's eye first wasn't the new variety, but the title. Blackie, who used to be the noble wolf that hunts gods, was now reduced to the noble wolf who hunts roasted and dried sweet potato slices. After spending time with Sejun, even Blackie's title had become trivial. Puha. Sejun laughed at Blackie, not realizing it might have rubbed off on him. Guards' achievements are also the achievements of the landlord. Congratulations. You have achieved the feat of creating a new variety in the tower. Due to your job trait, all stats have increased by 20. Following that, another message appeared. While Sejun was checking the messages, Kilahit Kaying. He, Great Blackie harvested it, so it belongs to Great Blackie. Lick. Blackie was diligently licking the extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato. Park Blackie, what the hell are you doing? That's gross. Sejun took the extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato away from Blackie and checked its effects. Extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato. A mutant sweet potato born from absorbing the best nutrition and sunlight at the highest place in the tower, possessing taste and effects at the very limit of what a sweet potato can reach. Upon consumption, all stats increase by 25 for 1 hour, can stack up to 10 times. Every time you eat 10, all stats permanently increase by 5. Cultivator, Park Sejun, Tower Farmer of the Black Tower. Shelf life, 180 days. Grade S. Oh. Taste that has reached the limits of what a sweet potato can be. Then how delicious is it? Reading the description, Sejun was filled with tremendous anticipation. And then, hub. Kaying. Butler, that belongs to Great Blackie, give it back. Blackie clung tightly to Sejun's leg, barking earnestly as he asserted ownership over the extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato. But, Blackie, well done, here, eat this. When Sejun praised him and handed over 5 roasted and dried sweet potatoes. Kivahit. Great Blackie now has 100 roasted and dried sweet potatoes. Blackie was quickly appeased and went back to harvesting sweet potatoes. As soon as Blackie left, snap! Sejun placed the extremely delicious royal honey sweet potato into the pouch of abundance and multiplied its seeds. At that moment, your slave, Zelga, the tower farmer of the Blue Tower, has harvested a new variety, the seedless watermelon that brings torrential rain. The slave's achievement is the master's achievement. Congratulations! You have achieved the feat of creating a new variety in the tower. Due to your job trait, all stats have increased by 20. This time, it was Zelga who had harvested a new variety. Again! What's going on today? Why is my luck so good? Sejun rejoiced, thrilled at his good fortune. Zelga, well done, have some potatoes. He praised Zelga and sent him a bunch of steamed potatoes, then received the new watermelon variety via tower transport. Seedless watermelon that brings torrential rain. Just the name alone made it obvious why it would bring torrential rain. How unfair must it feel? It must want to cry. Feeling empathy for the watermelon, Sejun checked its options, seedless watermelon that brings torrential rain. A mutant watermelon grown in the Blue Tower, having absorbed a large amount of water energy and born without seeds. Filled with resentment over its seedlessness, the watermelon harbors immense rage. When impacted, the watermelon's anger explodes, causing a torrential downpour. When consumed, maintains moist skin for a month, increases all stats by 50, and has a low chance of awakening water attribute talent. Cultivator, Park Sejun Tower Farmer. Shelf life, 180 days. Grade S. After reviewing the options, Sejun placed the seedless watermelon that brings torrential rain into the pouch of abundance to increase its count. Since it could not provide seeds, the only way to increase its quantity was through the pouch, just like with the Transcendence black beans and medicinal mugwort. Hezeli. Is today some kind of lucky day? Sejun smiled happily and continued farming. Under the blazing sun of a late afternoon, it was indeed a lucky day. Land of destruction. Not to be afraid when seeing me. Corruption furrowed its brow, wearing an expression of disbelief. From birth until now, it had lived for tens of billions of years. Yet no one had ever greeted it warmly, let alone treated it casually after seeing its form. Being scared was the best-case scenario, most felt disgust. Corruption had never been welcomed. In contrast, Primordial, who was born alongside corruption, was welcomed by all. That only deepened corruption's hatred toward Primordial, and Primordial distanced itself and severed ties. Then, without a word, Primordial vanished, leaving corruption completely alone. Ever since, corruption wandered various places, but never once was it welcomed. Each time, wounds piled upon corruption's heart, hardening it. A thick armor of emotional defense was built that way. But just from Sejun not fearing its appearance, a small crack of hope began forming in that armor. QQ not bad, but will you remain unfazed even at this face? So corruption practiced even scarier expressions. Hopping Sejun would fear him. He didn't want the armor to break. He didn't want to be hurt anymore. And tremble, tremble. The pure mental fragments of the next god of creation, hiding nearby, shivered in fear as they secretly watched corruption. 37th floor of the Green Tower. Pew hut. Then I shall begin the auction, meow. The first item from the great hybrid Chairman Park's farm is the golden kiwi, meow. I'll sell a total of 10,000 in batches of 100, meow. 100,000 tower coins. 100,000 100 tower coins. 100,000 200 tower coins. With Theo's announcement, his first return to the Green Tower in almost 8 months, the merchants hurried to place their bids. 300,000 tower coins. 310,000 tower coins. In an instant, the bidding tripled from the starting price. A little later, Pew Hut sold meow. Theo sold 10,000 golden kiwis and earned 5 billion tower coins. Pew Hut next is. Just like that, Theo continued selling Sejun's crops. Pew Hut, the final crop is this, meow. When Theo took out a single carrot. A carrot. It looks weird. Is it defective? Hey, what are you talking about? Do you think Vice Chairman Theo would sell a defective product? Yeah, if you're going to say stuff like that, then get out. The merchant stirred in response. At that moment, Pew Hut, this is the confession carrot, meow. If you share and eat this carrot, your confession will be successful, meow. Starting at 10 billion tower coins each, meow. Theo said with an evil smile. Then, what if you confess it works? This will definitely make money. There are so many wealthy forever loans in the Green Tower. Upon hearing Theo's words, the merchant stared at the confession carrot with greedy eyes. 11 billion tower coins. 15 billion tower coins. 20 billion tower coins. The bidding prices shot up rapidly. And then, Pew Hut sold out at 50 billion tower coins, meow. Theo sold just 5 confession carrots and made more money than he had from the auctioning of the other crops earlier. He still had 5,000 more confession carrots in his bag, but Theo did not get greedy. Pew Pew Hut, if I sell like this, I can drive the price up even more, meow. He had come to understand the law of scarcity through repeated experience. Pew Pew Hut, indeed, I am an amazing legendary merchant, meow. I should hurry to Chairman Park and boast about how amazing I am, meow. Theo, who had only now realized a fact that most merchants already knew, headed back to the Black Tower with a proud expression on his face. If someone were to ask what Theo had accomplished until now, Theo didn't know a thing. He just worked hard at selling. He was simply incredibly lucky. Snap! Thus Theo, emerging from the bag of the legendary merchant wandering the 9 towers, arrived at the Black Tower. Pew Pew Hut, Chairman Park, I'm back, meow. Using light speed meow step, he clung to Sejun's face. You're back. That's right, meow meow. Unfazed, Sejun grabbed Theo by the scruff of his neck and pulled him off his face. He was far too used to it by now. At that moment, Kue Kyung. Hehe, Dad Kyungi is back. Dadadaduk. Kyungi came running from a distance, calling for Sejun, and quickly arrived at his side. Once everyone was gathered. Kilahit Kaying. Hee Hyung, today great Blackie. Just as Blackie was about to brag to Theo and Kyungi about harvesting a new variety of sweet potato. Pew Pew Hut, Chairman Park, listen to me, meow. I finally realized. Theo began boasting to Sejun. Kue Kyung. Haha. Dad, Kyungi worked super hard in the herb field today and expanded it by 330,000 square meters. Kyungi interrupted him and bragged instead. Ha, Kyungi, I was talking to Chairman Park, why are you cutting in, meow? Theo got upset because of this and... Kyungi was going to speak first. Kyungi raised his voice too. And then... Kaying. Why aren't you listening to Great Blackie? Listen now. Blackie also barked hard to make Theo and Kyungi listen to him. As the 3 of them argued noisily. Enough, let's eat. Pew Pew Hut, sounds good, meow. Kue Kyung. Hehe, sounds good. Kilahit Kaying. Hee butler, give me roasted and dried sweet potatoes. At Sejun's words, the group quieted down and headed to the cooking area with him for a joyful dinner. All right, Theo, you go first. Of course, during the meal, Sejun let Theo, Kyungi, and Blackie speak freely in turn. Pew Pew Hut, Chairman Park, listen carefully, meow. I finally realized. Theo started talking excitedly. A peaceful day came to an end as Sejun listened to everyone's stories. Chapter 700, Welcome. Is this your first time with supplements? Blackie's mental world. Oh, you've grown a lot in just one day. Sejun spoke while looking at Ultra Mini Chairman Park number 4, who had doubled in size compared to yesterday and was now the height of 2 finger joints. The saying, growing day by day, couldn't be more fitting for this situation. Smug. At Sejun's words, Ultra Mini Chairman Park number 4 put on a proud expression and nudged his head towards Sejun, asking to be petted. Ultra Mini Chairman Park number 4 stood on his tiptoes to receive Sejun's strokes, perhaps because of the newly acquired talent. Main body is inferior to clones, or maybe it was just his personality. Unlike the other Chairman Parks, Ultra Mini Chairman Park number 4 was friendly towards Sejun. Had sure. Pad. After petting Ultra Mini Chairman Park number 4, Sejun began helping his companions, and the Blackie family apologized to the souls. I forgive you. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you if you give me that grilled fish. As the Blackie family was smoothly receiving forgiveness from the souls. Grrrrrrrr. Once again, corruption appeared today without fail. QQQGug. Could anyone not tremble in fear upon seeing this expression? Corruption tried to scare Sejun by confidently displaying his practiced expression, but, I'm not scary. Oh, you're here. Sejun even waved his hand in recognition. Sejun had become so familiar with corruption's face that he had grown fond of it. Here I come, Seal Beam. Meow. Whoosh. And so, corruption was once again incinerated and vanished by the fusion attack of Sejun and Theo. You have defeated the enemy with Seal Beam. You have acquired 100 billion tower coins. Thanks to that, Sejun and Theo earned some money. Pew Hut, Vice Chairman Theo, how much did you burn? Pew Hut, I burned 100 million tower coins, meow. What? Why did you burn more than last time? Because I wanted to have some fun today, meow. All right, sometimes you need to enjoy yourself. Sejun wanted to show the demeanor of a generous man who didn't fuss over petty cash. But, what foo one, you burn millions just to have fun. Squeeze. Chayman Pak, I'm shawi meow. In the end, unable to suppress his petty nature, Sejun once again pulled Theo's cheek. While Sejun was scolding Theo, "You're not scared of this face. Even I find it scary." Corruption in the land of destruction was shocked by Sejun's reaction. Corruption didn't like looking at its own hideous face and would barely look at it once every 1,000,000 years. QQQQ, then how about this face? Corruption practiced a new expression. Although Corruption's expression was filled with anger, his eyes sparkled with joy and excitement. 99th floor of the Black Tower. All right. Sejun once again got up energetically today and meow. Kaying. He took care of his companions, handled work at the Calamity Farm, the 10th Tower and Camille Disiong, successfully completing his morning routine before breakfast. And after breakfast, Pew Hut, Great Hybrid Chairman Park, I will go make lots of money, meow. Kaiwat, Sejunim, I'll be heading out too. Theo and Iona went to work together, but their commuting routes differed. Theo used the bag of the legendary merchant wandering the 9 towers. Kaiwat, power of dimension. Iona moved using dimensional magic. After spending the entire day calculating something yesterday, she successfully extracted the coordinates of the 37th floor of the Green Tower, where Theo was currently. Iona used dimensional movement magic twice a day just to be with Theo. It was something that couldn't be done without love, even for a great wizard. After Theo and Iona left, all right, let's get to work too. Kueha Kuang. Hehe, today Kyungi will help Dad. Kilahit Kaying. Hee Butler, Great Blackie will help too. Sejun went to the field with Kyungi and Blackie. Kyungi didn't go to work at the herb field today because there was nothing to harvest at the moment. The reason he created a 330,000 square meter herb field yesterday was also because there was nothing else to do. Thanks to that, Sejun worked comfortably all morning with Kyungi's help. Kilahit Kaying. Hee, big brother Kyungi, Great Blackie's legs hurt, carry me. Blackie subtly tried to get Kyungi's help too, but Kyung. Blackie, if you lie, you'll be punished. Hehe, faking it again, huh? Kyungi, having seen through Blackie's act, deliberately put on a stern expression and pulled out the thunderbolt staff. Kaying. Great Blackie's legs don't hurt anymore, really. Blackie, who had been limping, suddenly stood firmly on all fours and fled in a hurry. A little while later. Guys, let's have lunch. Sejun called Kyungi and Blackie, and they went to the kitchen to eat food prepared by Sejun number 12. The menu was spicy braised chicken. Wow, eating after working makes it so delicious. Kueha Kyung. Hehe, that's right. It's even tastier because Kyungi worked hard before eating. After finishing the chicken stew, they even fried rice in the sauce, and Kilahit Kaying. Hee Butler, me too, just one bite. As the two were eating so deliciously, even Blackie, who had already finished all the roasted and dried sweet potatoes, licked his lips and approached Sejun to get a taste. When lunch was over, slurp. That hits the spot. Sejun sipped the coffee brewed by Kyungi and took a break. Kilahit. By Sejun's side, Kyungi and Blackie settled down and began preparing for a nap. At that moment, whoosh, A chillingly cold wind blew from somewhere. BRR, what was that all of a sudden? Sejun, shivering, picked Kyungi and Blackie. Where's this cold wind coming from? He tracked down the source of the cold. What? He saw the youngest baby extreme ice herb, giving off chills from the field where the baby herbs were planted. The surrounding land and crops were freezing from the cold. Urg! The baby extreme flame herb, gritting its teeth, was trying to shield the other baby herbs, now turning blue from the cold, by pushing back the chill. But the cold was so intense that it seemed it couldn't hold on much longer. I have to stop it. Just as Sejun hurriedly took out the firewind water pitchfork and approached the baby extreme ice herb. Kyung! Didn't Kyungi say you'll be punished if you act up? Kyungi, who had been clinging to Sejun's side, suddenly moved in front of the baby extreme ice herb and grabbed it. S. Steam billowed as Kyungi's fire met the baby extreme ice herb's frost. A battle between fire and ice. Of course, the winner again was Kyungi. I'm sorry. The baby extreme ice herb, lightly subdued, screamed and surrendered. Meanwhile, are you guys okay? Sejun approached the other baby herbs and checked their condition. The baby extreme flame herb, being able to resist the cold, was in the best condition, while the others had suffered significant damage. Pad. Sejun used his farmer's warm touch skill to heal the 4 baby herbs. Me too, please heal me. Of course, the one in the worst shape was the baby extreme ice herb, slightly warmed after being scorched by Kyungi. Endure it. Who told you to cause trouble? Sejun didn't heal it right away. Once the other 4 baby herbs were stabilized. Pad. Sejun began treating the baby extreme ice herb. However, Farmer's Warm Touch LV9 is activated. While touched, the baby extreme ice herb's wounds are slightly healed. The baby extreme ice herb's source vital energy is damaged. The warm touch is harming the baby extreme ice herb's source vital energy. The baby extreme ice herb's wounds are worsening. What? The baby extreme ice herb, badly scorched by Kyungi, was now in such poor condition that even Sejun's body heat was too much for it to bear. Shari. Sejun urgently called for Shari. Pipiak. Yes, you punk, get a grip. Shari quickly blew cold air toward the baby extreme ice herb. It was a trivial coldness, around degrees C, but fortunately, the baby extreme ice herb slowly began to recover. But what if it causes trouble again once it recovers? Sejun stared at the recovering baby extreme ice herb, deep in thought. It was fine this time because he and Kyungi had been nearby, but if something like this happened when no one was around? What should I do? Sejun was lost in thought. He realized that solving the problem wasn't as difficult as he thought. The baby extreme flame herb just had to become stronger too. Kyungi, give this one some fire. When Sejun pointed at the baby extreme flame herb and spoke. Kyung. Got it. Whoosh. Kyungi grabbed the baby extreme flame herb and unleashed flames. Oh, I feel overflowing energy. Thanks to that, the baby extreme flame herb began to grow stronger. Hey, youngest, come here. Now that it felt it could beat the baby extreme ice herb, the baby extreme flame herb began boasting. However, after a while, a problem arose. As Kyungi's flames grew stronger. Kkium too hot. Whoosh. The baby extreme flame herb transformed into a massive fire and burned up instantly. Kyung. Did Kyungi make a mistake? As Kyungi looked around nervously, checking Sejun's reaction. Hezzy. Sejun was smiling as he looked at him. Thank goodness. Kyungi thought he was in trouble. Kyungi also smiled in relief. The baby extreme flame herb has grown into an extreme flame herb by absorbing powerful fire energy. The extreme flame herb has returned to its rightful place. You have completed 1 requirement out of 5 of the promotion quest. A message suddenly appeared in front of Sejun. Sejun quickly turned to look at Kyungi. Woosh! And saw the extreme flame herb disappearing in a burst of flames. So there was a way to speed up their growth. Hezeli. My Kyungi did a good job. Sejun smiled and ran to the relieved Kyungi. You did great, Kyungi. Kyuiha. He praised Kyungi, lifting him with both hands and bouncing him up and down. Then, Kaying. Butler, what about the great Blackie? Tell great Blackie he did well too and bounce him too. Blackie barked fiercely, asking to be praised and tossed too. While Sejun was giving both Kyungi and Blackie their well-deserved lifts. Hey newbie huh, nice to see you. We met at the birthday party, right? The extreme flame herb encountered an endlessly towering tree looking down at it. You know me. It's me, Flamey Park, Sejunim's second daughter. What? Flamyanim was this enormous. The extreme flame herb was shocked by Flamey's words. The baby herbs were originally trees that assisted the tree of creation. In other words, they were destined to be Flamey's subordinates. That's why it had moved toward Flamey. Thank you, Poderinim. The extreme flame herb once again expressed its thanks to Poderi, who had advised it not to eat the golden fire apple Sejun had given it. If he had eaten it, his life as a tree would have been greatly disrupted. Anyway, nice to meet you, but you're too weak right now to be of help. Sausage, give this one some supplements. Yes, welcome. Is this your first time with supplements? Sausage, the top student at the World Tree School, handed over a supplement to the extreme flame herb with an excited voice. 99th floor of the Black Tower. Hehe, you should have told me sooner that this was how to raise them. Water bomb. SS rank tower farmer isn't far off now. Smiling, Sejun used the fire wind water pitchfork to make small water bombs, and had the baby Hishu Wu absorb the water energy. Puwu. Bibe. Mukbupal and Bisugu, who could handle water energy, also helped Sejun by spewing water energy. And then, Hithid. Siptiaku, who could handle all 9 attributes, searched for the attribute that the baby ginseng could absorb. Baby Hishu Wu was water. Baby 10,000 poison herb was poison. Baby extreme ice herb was ice. Those 3 were easy to guess based on their names, but the baby ginseng was harder to figure out. Hithid. Not this one either, then how about this one? Siptiaku tried, injecting all 9 attributes into the baby ginseng, one by one. But, Hithid. Sejunim, I'm sorry. It was a failure. The baby ginseng didn't absorb any of the 9 attributes Siptiaku had. What could it be? For now, let's raise the others first. Sejun decided to focus on the other herbs for now. A little while later. Puhu Hut, Chairman Park, I'm back, meow. Kaiwat, me too. Theo and Iona returned from work. Puhu Hut, when it comes to water attributes, leave it to me, meow. Kaiwat. Making ice is as easy as eating peanuts while lying down. With Theo and Iona's power, the baby Hishu Wu and baby extreme ice herb moved over to Flamey's location. I should have just worked. Watching the couple, Sejun regretted what he now saw as a pointless effort. However, Puhu Hut, I burned all the money I earned, meow. Theo had burned all the money he earned in the Green Tower over the past 3 days. A little later. Hey, I told you not to burn money. Chairman Park, you're so stingy, meow. Sejun and Theo bickered again as usual. And then, Kyung. Dad Kyungi is hungry. Kilahit Kaying. Hee Butler feed great Blackie. Kyungi and Blackie whined to Sejun for food. Wait a moment, I have to punish Vice Chairman Theo. Chairman Park, I want Chiru too, meow. How can food go down your throat right now? It goes down just fine, meow. You're right, we should eat, let's have dinner. Persuaded by Theo's words, Sejun had dinner with the group. As always, the Sejun family was lively. There was some shouting, but the day ended peacefully. After dinner, everyone good night. As night deepened, Pahe good night everyone. Peacebees began his activities.